Hello, Gearheads, and welcome to another Blind Mike Sunday. It's 10 days until Christmas. Have you been a good boy or a bad boy? Well, either way, get yourself to blindmike.net for all your last-minute Christmas shopping needs. Might I mention the merch? An amazing gift for any Blind Mike fan. Anyways, whatever your Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa plans are, we have an amazing show for you today. We have Stuttering John versus Cardiff Electric and Andrew Schulz versus KENDRICK LAMAR. We also have Steel Toe versus Old Steel Toe, telling him not to be stupid. Well, he didn't listen, obviously. But I think we're all ready to listen to the man who we'd rather sit on his lap than Santa Claus any day. Blind Mike Geary!
Thank you, Electra. We can, I want everyone in the chat to know we can speak freely today because it's a Casey day, so Craig won't be listening, so we can be honest, you know?
Hi, everybody.
Craig is on watch. The people on Twitter are now rising up against his tyranny, and frankly, it's about time. After last week's really pathetic display to lump you in, to attack you when he's clearly at fault for all this. Am I wrong about that, Casey?
I mean, Craig's starting quarterback, so
He
you
tattled
always,
on you. He tattled.
He tattled. He tattled a little bit, but it's what he tattled about. I can understand a little bit.
I will say, this is the only thing, and there's polar opposite things. It's very interesting. Complete opposite things bother me at times about Casey Day versus Craig, where Casey will try new things. He's very eager to experiment and try different things. So sometimes there are things that I wouldn't necessarily want that make their way into the show. That's effort. Where Craig bothers me is someone will be like, "Hey, Craig, would you mind uploading the show so people can watch and hear it?" Oh, no. And he'll go, "Fuck you! Get out of here, loser!" That's very different than what Casey Day does to irk me.
I was always told to make a U-shaped hole in the wall. You know, even if you fail, let people know you failed trying. Craig makes a hole in the wall for different reasons, I think. Hey,
Craig, there's a new Twitter account that is now my favorite account on Twitter. I forget the handle, but it's the Craig Accountability Task Force, which I think is a very important cause.
It's our Doge.
Yeah, I think this guy's doing good work. Now, I asked him, and obviously he can do whatever he wants, but I said, please, if you could, keep it to legitimate claims so that Craig can't go like, they're lying. Because immediately someone goes, "Hey, Craig, I noticed the audio isn't up for this," and he's like, "Shut up, freaks!" And it's like, why is he interacting with these people this way? They just want to hear my show. That's very sweet of them to be like, "Hey, would you mind, sir? Could you please upload the audio?" You'll watch it, bitch. Let it play on YouTube, you asshole. But sometimes it's easier. It doesn't drain my battery if you just have the audio up. Shut up, freak. Sorry, Mr. Oconee. I didn't mean to bother you.
I love this new voice. Mike, you're a voice man.
I really am. Here's the only thing that Casey about Casey that bothers me is I turn on Catch 22 after last week's Blind Mike project, and I hear Casey Day say these words. He goes, sure, sometimes I have images of Craig molesting a child on the screen, but I've compromised with this man so much. He said compromised with me. As if all right, 'cause a little child rape, but not...
He never touches him, though. That's the fun. He almost gets him every time, but he never touches. There's no actual touching, Craig.
I'll tell you, the only reason that I don't want a video of Craig chasing a child, an AI video of Craig chasing a child around, is because I'm thinking of society And when the real videos come out, people won't know whether they're real or not. We're muddying the waters by having these AI images out. And I think it does a disservice to law force, the families of the victims. I don't think it's good to have out there these fake images, because then people will see the real videos and be like, oh, it's obviously Casey's AI again. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, please stop this man.
Can you imagine if you went back to old Shuli Network shows and there was little AI ESOs running around chasing children? They'd be held a little more accountable. So I think you're right there, Mike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want, like, oh, look, they were laughing about it in our faces.
Yeah, so they just threw it in our faces. It's like the Illuminati. We're just throwing it right. Sorry, none today. Krager's is just on my desk, along with DJ Electra's memorial, because she will not be joining us today, along with my Big Ten trophy, baby.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Craig.
also got my Bullsworth trophy here, which is the trophy for the best walk-on of the year, otherwise known as the White Guy Trophy. The White Guy Trophy. Congratulations. Bryce Betcher of Oregon.
It's meaningless to me, but
Okay.
we'll move forward. Yeah, go follow the Craig Accountability Task Force on Twitter. I think that's very important, and he could do great work. He could save people so much hassle, including me. And Craig,
Blind Mike burner account, by the way. That's I guarantee it.
Craig's like, you fucking loser. I did it already, you fucking loser. And the guy's just like, I'm just asking. I pay for this every month. I would like all the episodes to be uploaded. Why am I a loser for that?
Or a time. Just give us a time frame. Fuck off.
Craig's like, you ugly freaks. I'm like, Jesus, Craig. These are paying customers.
Not everything's. I did say, me and DJ Electron Catch 22, we did have a wager on our show if the new women Craig were dating were 152. Oh, over or under? What's your thought on that, Blind Mike? Over or under 152?
I have no idea.
See, that's the fun stuff we do here with Kragers. I went over, way over.
Congratulations. All right. Well, whatever. For more hilarity like that, go to HACKRIDETheDemon.com. You guys have an episode coming out tonight?
We do. We have an episode right after this. So stick around right after Blind Mike. We have Catch 22 Sunday, and then tonight we have Unboxing Gold Dust. The great wrestler was on the Howard Stern show once, and we break it down with Dylan from somewhere.
Shuli bullied you out of covering Eric?
Yes, it does look like that, but no. We just took a break. We've done 25 straight episodes, so we just needed a break from Eric. 1 week off from Eric.
That's fair. And go to blindmike.net if you want to support this program. Craig will tell you not to, but guys, rebel against Craig. I know some of you might think it's doing your job to listen to Craig, but no, I say stick it to the man and go to blindmike.net, subscribe wherever you get podcasts, become a member for $5 a month. What else? Subscribe, like, share.
Are we promoting a little J37 shop today? Is that something that we're doing?
Yeah, we're always promoting J37shop.com, I say. So go there as well. It's an eBay store. Our friend Joe from Virginia, one of the Havard Grace 6. This man is, frankly, mentally ill. He's giving this stuff away. He's insane! So if you go to J37shop.com, he has all kinds of goodies there. Electronics, video games, Blu-rays, all kinds of stuff you never even knew you needed, but definitely want to check out. They make great Christmas gifts as well, and should be there in time, plenty of time for Christmas. So go to J37shop.com, check out what they've got. He claims they update it every day. So I say if you go today, go back tomorrow and see if there's anything new you might want to check out. J37shop.com and use my name at checkout. Promo code Blind Mike to save, this can't be right, 15%.
No!
This guy's losing money.
It's impossible.
So support our boy Joe from Virginia. J37shop.com. We appreciate their support. And tell them the Blind Mike Project sent you. Use my name, Blind Mike, at checkout to save 15% on all the many things they've got. Help J37shop.com hit their goal, which we'll be getting to later. The goal is taken yet another fun turn. This guy, he's not boring. So you'd think the goal would get boring after a while, but it certainly keeps evolving.
The goal, I was going to say the goal evolves, Mike.
Yes, definitely does.
At the beginning of the goal, there was just this monolith and a bunch of monkeys around it, just throwing up bones. And now, now look where we are. A future world. Yeah, the goal evolves, baby.
That's right. Yeah, so it was just a guppy at one point, and now look at it. But should we start with my friend Stuttering John?
Always.
Okay.
I have two though. I have Stut Joe and a friend doing impressions, and
We'll get to that. We'll get that. We're not going to play that whole thing. I just want to taste it because our last clip leads to it. We're not. Yeah, but it's fascinating. John and his friend Rob Saul do some great character work that I want to dissect. So I asked the potato, Cardiff Electric, if he would come on today. He's running in fear. He doesn't want a hot interviewer like myself. That's right. I'm stealing that, David Collins. I'm a bit of a hot interviewer, if you're not aware. And I wanted Cardiff Electric on to hold his feet to the fire, if you will. And he ran. He said he's on a gay cruise of some kind, which good for him.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But Cardiff would not come on to address some of the allegations made in today's episode, but we'll talk about them. So this is John earlier in the week. A lot has happened since this that we'll talk about in sort of in my own way, I guess. But we'll use these clips to get into the newest and latest with Stuttering John.
Yeah, this one's called Big News, and I have been out of this universe for a while. This week got me kind of back in. This is a monumental week, I think.
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't know, and this will definitely happen, John is retiring from the Dabbleverse. No, we're not in reruns. We're not replaying an episode from June or July or September or any of the other times he's done this. John is retiring. Now he's retiring on December 31st. He announced this on the 13th. So John said, hey, this world is too toxic for me. I'm only going to give you 2.5 more weeks of kicking me around. It was like the basketball scene. Like, you guys can only do this to me 13 or 14 more times before I get really mad. But John has some big news, and I guess this is what he's going to be working on while he's away, maybe.
So now I know all you people on Dabbles Anonymous are posting to email or whatever into Lee County. Now, I don't advocate anything of such sort.
I agree, by the way. Don't do that.
No.
John's going to be an idiot. He's probably going to lose jobs on his own. He's going to have a terrible relationship with his family on his own. Let him do it. We don't need to call the school. So John's been substitute teaching again. And here's where, again, we talk about this a lot, Casey. Here's where the moral conflict comes in. Of course, no one in the Dabbleverse should be calling the school that John works for and trying to get him fired. However, if I had a child at that school and I saw John, I would absolutely be calling them. You know what I mean? It's a tough road to navigate with this fucker.
I think that you just navigated it, though. You made the perfect strategy. You don't call the school. You find a parent who has a kid in the school. You call them.
You believe this?
The dirty work.
But like it is. It's because why would we interfere with his? Who gives a fuck? But then you're like, he is teaching children, and that definitely shouldn't be happening. But
it's amazing what's going on with this guy and these kids. All right, here.
Because I am an employee. Now, do I care if you do? No, I really don't care.
Oh, good.
Because I'm going to devote my time to my one-man show, which I started working on last
Yes! Hell yes! John,
write that.
Please follow through with this. For the love of God. You say these things all the time. You're going to fight the shitwayer. You're gonna sue Lady K. You've reported me to the FBI. It's always bullshit. John, please buckle down and write this one-man show and get this thing onto a stage. I'm begging you. I'll pay whatever the cost is for a ticket.
This got me back. That line got me back into it because it felt like you couldn't write that. Like a comedian sitting in a room. Saturday Night Live could not write this sketch.
I'll tell you what's fascinating about it, and part of the reason I want to see it so much. There's never been a one-man show written about a man with no problems. A guy who has lived a life consequence-free. He could be as big an asshole as he wants. He failed up his whole career until he didn't anymore. But you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
he has been dancing through the raindrops for 30 years. And to write a one-man show where there are no stakes, there's no loss, there's no negative.
It'd be like Gladiator 3. I mean, he conquered the world, and that's how it would end.
It's really coming.
Amazing. There'd be no adversary in the show.
It'd be the movie with absolutely no antagonist.
Like, what am I watching? This guy just fail upward, and then I worked for the Tonight Show, and I couldn't say Nicolas Cage's name.
Easy to me. A, because I'm a joke crafter, and B, because I'm following the template of my autobiography.
Hold on. Colin Quinn puts together amazing, essentially one-man shows. I don't really call them one-man shows because they are more stand-up, but for all intents and purposes, they are one-man shows. Colin Quinn's great at it. He's done it repeatedly. I don't think he would say, oh, well, it's easy for me because I'm a genius. He is a genius. He is a comedy genius. But I don't think he'd be like, oh, yeah, piece of cake. It took no work at all. That's a great mentality to go into this with, John. It's a massive undertaking to write an hour, at most 2 hours, one-man show about the entirety of your life. This thing you have to cram 60 years into, let's say, an hour and a half. That takes meticulous, you have to work over every detail, what's important, what's not, what's funny, what isn't. Crafting is actually the right word. I know people make fun of him for that because John is just a bumbling buffoon. He's an ape that has managed to use the internet. So it's funny to hear him say crafting, but that is what he needs to do. He needs to sit at home and whittle away this hour. He really needs to chisel it into something refined. And John's like, that'll be easy. No sweat.
And it goes one step further because it's easy because I'm just following my own book. I mean, it gave him a chance to self-flatulate. He just sucked his own cock in front of everyone.
What if this book that didn't sell any copies? The only reason people heard it is because Carl uploaded it directly to his Patreon for all of his subscribers. What if this book that sold nothing? What if the guy acted it out on the stage? Could you imagine how much that would sell?
This book that only thing it did was alienate a family. Well, let's try to put this on the stage. Yeah.
Me, Cardiff, and Tukey would have a lot of leg room at this one-man show, I gotta say.
And that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start getting back to the clubs. I know you're going to try and get me canceled there, too.
Hey,
because
no one do that. I'm begging you. Get this oaf back onto a stage. We need it.
Phil, put that quill away.
Yes.
Phil Elmore, put it away.
Yeah. Stop trying to get him in trouble and let him on a stage, for the love of God.
Yeah. You guys have this ultimate jealousy for the Duke, and I understand because I'm the most successful person that you know. I'm the most successful person.
Yeah, it's a little different for you over there.
I know Kirk Minahan, Dave Portnoy, Shane Gillis.
Wow.
I can text these people, John. No, that doesn't mean I'm anything.
He's flexing on us, guys. He's flexing.
Well, no, the point I'm making is that doesn't mean I'm anything. I just happen to have met these people.
Call him right now. Call one right now on air. Let's do it.
Now, it's weird. All the people I've mentioned, I'm trying to ruin none of their lives. It's very strange.
Well, you're not doing it right.
Person in this Dabbleverse. And I'm probably the most successful person that left Howard Stern.
So I think Billy West and Artie Lang would have something to say about that, John.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Honestly, Yucko the Clown would have something to say about that. Beetlejuice.
You got the best job for the lack of talent. That's the award you get. Congratulations if you want that one.
And by the way, let's be fair to John. He's in the running. It's not a very long list.
Yeah.
John going to work for the Tonight Show is one of the best credits of anyone who has left the Howard Stern Show.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact, Jack, I like to say. That's my thing. I trademarked that. I am the Duke, by the way. I forgot about that bit. Keep calling me the Duke. Tell John he's not the Duke anymore. I'm the Duke.
Trying to take it back.
Yeah. It really has legs, I think. I forget what I was saying, though.
No.
Oh, yeah. The Tonight Show is one of the best singular credits. Again, Billy West and Artie Lang would trounce him in this game. But you could argue John is third, maybe, right? Unless I'm forgetting someone.
In front of the camera, yeah. There's been some successful people from like Howard TV and stuff like that. But yes, like in front of the
And like I said, Yucko the clown has gotten some stuff on television.
Yes, much more successful than Wendy and Gary. Congratulations.
Yes. Yeah, nice job, John. Jeff the drunk has nothing on you.
Except a job. Still with the Howard Stern Show.
So it is one of the best singular credits of anyone that's left the Stern Show. That's true. It is not, however. You can't say that for an hour on stage. You can't just keep going, I worked for The Tonight Show. And then 59 minutes of applause, like Ellen got.
We gotta leave 4 minutes for the squeegee bitch at the end. You know?
Yeah, like that's not. It's interesting as a fact that Stuttering John became the announcer for the Tonight Show. I don't know that it's one man show worthy. It's certainly not worthy of making anyone jealous. Who would give a fuck about that?
Well, Billy West as well.
Oh, there you go.
So because I love Billy and I give complete respect for Billy. I was
like
never aware
the fucking red M&M. John is like he's a national. Everyone knows Billy West's voice, and John's like, on second thought, we are peers. He and I, exactly the same.
He has a character almost as popular as Homer Simpson out there in the animation world with Fry. So
Ren and Stimpy. Yeah. Billy West had a bunch of shit.
That Billy was he was writing a lot of stuff. I didn't know that. So for that, Billy, I mean, good for you. I didn't know. I wasn't.
Were you not paying attention? He was doing it while he was on the Stern Show. God, he created Ren and Stimpy while he was working there.
He's coping on it, like in real time. Like, no, it's okay, John. You're okay. You're still okay. There can be someone better than you as long as they were like a Simpson. Okay, he's okay.
The balls for Stuttering John to pat Billy West on the head. Didn't realize you wrote your own stuff. That's pretty good. That's like if I just picked some other Barstool, someone that was a Barstool intern. I'm trying to think of who was. But like Glenny Balls started there. And like he's very successful now. If I was like, you know what, kid? I think you've got it. It's like, he doesn't need me to say that. The arrogance for John to be like, you know what, Billy West? It's taken 25 years for me to say this. You're doing okay.
You got it, kid. You're gonna do things. Good game. Slap you on the ass.
Light years more successful than Stuttering John.
When you were there.
All right, teacher time.
Okay, so yeah, it's another difficult one for me to sift through in my head. John is a teacher. I don't think we need to interfere with his real life. Yet this is a hilarious scenario he's presenting us. So what am I to do? I'm merely a commentator.
He's really put you in a corner here.
But what Cardiff did today, let me just say that because you're all like to say how stupid I am. First of all, point one.
Hold on. If it's been said many times, if John is doing a character, it's beautiful. You all like to say how stupid I am. Well, point one.
1 point for you. Now let's talk about it.
He's just an oaf.
Is one of those faces too where you freeze on. It's pretty funny.
School was notified about my Zoom court meeting.
Okay.
They were notified 5 days ago.
Let me explain. For those of you that don't know, John is substitute teaching, second grade apparently, and which I thought he was with. He taught older kids before, didn't he? High school or something.
I thought it was middle school or 8th graders or freshmen. Yeah, these are way young.
Yeah,
they gave them the youth of their fucking state here.
As Norm Macdonald said, all you need is a 3rd grade education. So, so John's teaching 2nd graders. Evidently, he says to the principal, I got caught this morning. You mind if I teach the children while I'm in court, essentially, while I'm on a Zoom call with court? And if you're wondering, I guess it's some like registry violation. John got pulled over and didn't have his license, or his car wasn't registered for Florida or something like that.
Mhm.
We'll see the fine. It's barbaric what Florida is doing to people. It's shameful the money they're taking from the poor people like John. But John says to his principal, "Hey, I got caught this morning. You mind if I multitask?" And they say yes. Is that believable at all?
No. Not at all. What are you talking about?
There's no way a principal would be like, "Oh, absolutely. Oh, good. You have court this morning. I was hoping."
My favorite thought experiment is like, he's a substitute, right?
Yeah.
The teacher he's in for has court this morning. So, like, they're like,
No,
what
no.
are we paying for?
No, the principal at this school makes it very clear. If you have court, please show up. Ask if you can do it in front of the kids so they learn what life is like.
Oh God, the worksheets. He goes into the worksheets. I think. God damn that.
Everyone
kills
do
me.
your dittos.
Find a cello in this picture. While I get off for skirting the law in this court report to second graders. This person is not real. Florida is not real. God damn. Put you this in, man, in front of your guilt.
And the reason why we know that is because I talked to the principal's assistant and the principal, and I said, "Look, in 5 days
all
I
the way
have
up
to
the
do
ladder."
this."
That's a lie. The principal's assistant. Oh, that doesn't sound, John. That doesn't sound good enough. Say another. Oh, and the principal.
I talked to the
What did you
principal's
say to
assistant and the principal. I said, "Hey, gang, everyone take a knee. Gather around. I've got some news for you."
This Zoom meeting during my first period. So could you print me out? And I went and got a word search. It was second graders. And I got a word search with all the instruments, so they could do that at their desks while I had to
Brilliant.
attend this. Now, I didn't know these.
By the way, second graders, I've taught music. I've helped in LAUSD teaching music. Second graders do not learn music. What does he even do? He's a babysitter.
Oh, that's a good point. We didn't have music class in second grade. I didn't even think of
No.
that.
You're not even cognitive enough to like develop so we do notes, find the cello. And they're like, what the fuck's a cello?
That's
Where
a good
are we?
point. In second grade, it's just like reading, writing,
And he's
maybe
like,
math, I guess.
I saw this clip where he's like, but I got a record deal, and these second graders are never gonna have a teacher that's a record deal.
We'll get to all the things the kids love about his teaching. But that's a great point. You don't teach music to second graders.
And then he gets like I got this really complicated test for them to take while I'm on the quiz. They're like, I think I saw Carl say, because I'm gonna give him the credit. It's just like a bunch of Ralph Wiggums sitting in a room,
How great would it be if he's been teaching the wrong class? If John's strumming his guitar, singing a song. Like, this is social studies, John. What are you doing?
Another teacher walks in, sees him in there, is like, hey, fuck, I don't got to teach today. All right, get out of here.
Oh,
Just
we'll get to what all the other teachers think of him. Don't you worry.
foreshadowing, baby.
These things can go on for hours. When I called the Lee County courts, I said, well, I'm a school teacher. They said it can go for a long period of time. And I'm like, well, so I got 100 of the word searches printed out. So
why? Hold on. There aren't going to be more kids.
5 each. The kids have to do 5 each. What the fuck? They can't count to 5.
Why does it matter how many he prints? John, print 1,000. It doesn't mean it's going to take more of their time. Or is he saying
none.
when they finish a word search, they have to start another?
Yes, and he printed none. He just gave the principal's assistant a ton of work to do. He's like, oh, I got to do this. Can you print these out for me? Like, it'd be easier if we just had the other teacher back. God damn. You're like,
How monotonous. Mr. Melendez, I finished the word search. Start another. You've never finished.
yeah,
These
crumple
are
that one up
ongoing.
and throw it on the ground and then start another. That's what it means to me.
Thankfully, it was done in my first break, which was right after the first period. I get 20 minutes right after the first period. So I was able to actually testify, which really wasn't a testify. He just knew that I got the registration within the 30 days, and it was dismissed for $10. and I'll have.
At least it was a worthy cause, John. At least you were fighting over $10.
Also, these courts, if you're like, hey, I'm a school teacher, can I do it at a different time or night court? They'll reschedule for you. He must have missed all the deadlines, waited till the last second, and this was like last deal McGee, you know?
Well,
like,
you're right, but you're I think purposely missing something. Obviously what they do is they say, "Oh, you're a school teacher? Just do it during class. No big deal." Let us say hi to the kids.
Only 10 and under, though. How old are your kids? 8. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, they don't need any supervision.
No, they just eat paint. You just put the paste out there. Let them eat the paste.
Oh, I was hoping you said you printed 100 word searches. Perfect.
Now we got to get more ink. Thanks a lot in the principal's office, John. These kids just drool all over these papers.
I'll have Mr. and Bessie pay that, of course.
John, just pay the $10. Jesus Christ.
I think he's saying he can't afford it. Performing is the next one.
I know John performs a lot on his show, but I hope this is him talking about some of his great performances.
Yes. Or telling about how he performs in front of 8-year-olds and he's masterful at it, please.
Yes.
But the point being is that I am not doing this, or initially it was fun, but I also thought it would be,
John forgot, this stammering idiot forgot that he used to say, "Guys, I don't need this teaching gig. I do it for the children. I do it to enlighten young minds, shape the tomorrow's future." He forgot that he used to claim that this was all for the kids, and he's right there. You're about to hear him. I don't do this for my health. He's going to go into a rant about how he only does it for money, and then he remembers. It's so fascinating to watch John's mind at work because he wears every thought right on his sleeve. You're not missing an ounce. If you're saying, "I wonder what's going through that mind right now," you're not missing a second of it. You're hearing every I mean, I love teaching the kids, but how do I look like a good guy here?
It's like you're seeing the hamster like reverse directions on the wheel in real time in his brain.
Or initially it was fun, but I also thought it would be, fun and I could make good money, but I can't make good money.
And therefore it is not fun. Hey, John, at least you're still having fun. No, I am not. Not after I saw my paycheck. So John claims, as happens with most jobs, John applied and he said, "What's the pay?" And they said, "Oh, you'll see." They kept it a big secret until his first paycheck. They definitely didn't tell him immediately what it was, and John just took the job because he needs money. It was a scam the school was running on him.
Problem. Unless I go through the testing and it'll take about a year. And I don't know if I really, because when I hit 60,
and what's the point then? If I can't teach today, why teach in a year?
Schools really just suck. I just hate schools and teach. Everything about schools are terrible. Oh, by the way, hi, kids.
My goal was to abolish homework and cancel Mondays. And unfortunately, I was not able to do that.
Second pension. And I don't know if I really want to do that. I'd rather focus on stand-up, which is also something I love.
Good. Please, John, please. I'm begging you. John, I've never asked you for anything. Please focus on stand-up. Don't just have it be something you let fall to the wayside like every other threat you've made. This is a threat I want you to see through. Do stand-up, please. No, everyone, hands in, gang. Everyone on 3. We won't cancel John's gigs. All right, John, we've all agreed to it. Please do this.
Or we need to go to that model that one guy you cover does, where he does it from his house, but it seems like he's getting applause from the clubs. Yes, he needs that model.
That'd be great. Oh, yeah. So they're all losing it out there. I'll give them a minute to catch their breath.
Let me teach it's a performance. And in this case, it's 24 of the same performances. It's like doing 2 weeks at the Laugh Factory. I mean,
24. What? Is John teaching 24 classes a day?
I think he's talking the week. Let me do John math. There's 5 days in a week, and
He says
6 performances.
But he says 24 of the same performance.
So that's probably teaching, right? Like, everyone, this is a note.
Right.
24 times
But then
like,
on Tuesdays, does he say to the same class, everyone, this is a note?
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, he's suggesting that every day he teaches the same exact class 6 times a day.
I'd ace that test if that was my teacher. Just in 6 months of the same. Nice. It's a strategy, John.
For instance, I was doing, the whole alphabet and how notes have their own alphabet. And I'm not going to get into everything.
No, I don't want to burden you.
It goes to G. The end.
Imagine a guy giving us this much detail. He's telling us it was a $10 fine. He tells us about the conversation he had with the assistant principal about printing out worksheets. And then for some reason, every once in a while, he's like, I'm not going to bore you with all the details. Why stop now?
The complicated detail that notes are letters just like letters, and they go to G.
Oh my God.
I got to do this 24 more times.
These have an order? What is that? That's like letters. That's almost like the alphabet, John. I don't want to get into all the details.
Too complicated.
I start there and I build and I build and I build. And it's a 40-minute lesson.
I build and I build. What are you building to?
My teachers were talking about like this when they were teaching me. Fuck you guys. Building.
And that, folks, is the G chord. And John bows. Yes! They're throwing flowers at him. You've done it, John. That 45 minutes flew by. I build and I build.
Now let me play you some of my band's music from our second album.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how America found John Lennon. What is he building to?
And that's what I do. And then each week I'll have a new 40-minute lesson. So it's like writing a new monologue, but you're
each
teaching.
Week. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Maybe
a week of the
I'm
same shit.
totally open to the idea that I'm the idiot and I'm misunderstanding. He does one class a week. So if he teaches on Monday, like he's a sub, so maybe he's not in every day. But if he teaches on Monday and teaches on Wednesday, he's teaching the same class to all the same kids?
Maybe.
Guys, have you memorized Monday yet?
All right, say it with me. The music is just like an alphabet. 7 days in a row.
I also might be the idiot for getting too hung up on this idiot's words. He may just not know what the fuck he's talking about. But to me, it sounds like he's saying he teaches the same class for a week and then comes in next week with a new lesson plan.
It's like a new one-man show every week.
Something that I am very passionate about, which is music. And I think you all know that I'm extremely passionate about music.
Yes.
And that will always be the case. And
oh, good.
It's never going to.
I was worried. I was just saying to the skirt the other day, we were driving along, and it was silent for a couple minutes, and I opened my mouth to say something, and she said, "What is it?" And I said, "I don't wanna." And she goes, "No, go ahead." And I said, "Do you think John will ever lose his passion for music?" And she said, "Mike, I don't think that'll ever be the case." And I said, "Oh, good." A smile overtook me.
He's so passionate. He took a job teaching people who can't understand music.
I'll never lose my passion for music. Like we were all like, John, is the flame ever gonna burn out? I assure you, never.
He loves himself, and he got a job where he can talk about his band and
Yes.
get paid for it.
That's exactly right. Yes, exactly. He also has a passion for the Tonight Show. He has a passion for not so much Howard Stern, but the interviews that were played on the Howard Stern show.
I wanted to see if they would teach a class on cleaning cat poop, and they said no. These are the things I know.
Me, and it's in my blood.
It is amazing.
And
it's
in my
It's in my blood. It's in my blood, so I've never done anything with it. I've never taught until I was 58 years old.
It's in my hemorrhoid blood.
But we were busting Schulz's chops for taking the Eric the Midget idea from you. But as we were talking before the show, Schulz knew Eric and could actually add some insight. Like, it makes sense for him to do that show. I get it. What's amazing about
the parallels are exactly there, like with WATP, right? Like WATP started covering John, but Schulz had a beef with John. John tried to get Schulz fired, therefore acceptable.
It
Same
makes
thing.
sense. It makes sense that he would talk about this.
Same thing. He has video and cassettes of Eric and all this stuff that needs to be out there. So get that show on the air, Schulz. Stat.
What's amazing about John is he was at the Stern show for what some people would say the peak years. I prefer Artie. But like 90s Stern, a lot of people would call that the best time on the show.
Most
and John,
listened, for sure.
John has been able to add nothing new that fans didn't already know. He absorbed nothing from that time. And it's astonishing. So why, just because Atlantic Records gave him an album for because he was on Stern, why would that give him the ability to teach music to children? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. But he couldn't do it at college, couldn't do it at high school, couldn't do it at middle school, couldn't do it in 6th grade. So he found the last place that he could do this. So he could show his videos and people would be like, well, he's just a glorified fucking babysitter. So let him show his goddamn videos.
I like the John lies that he knows aren't going to take off. Like he goes, so a super chatter's like, I've heard you're a professor at a local college. And John goes, I'm not going to answer that. Like he wanted us to believe he could have been a professor. But then he didn't stick to that one because he knew like no one was buying that horse shit.
I got an idea for John. He's doing this the wrong way. You need to open up a Stuttering John musical daycare where you just sit around, play the guitar, play your videos, and watch these kids. Because that's essentially what you're doing at the school, but you can charge like 10 times more for these rich parents.
He's playing his guitar. He's a dues payer. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there.
Kids, let me tell you about Patrick Melton.
And the kids, of course, they took to me. In fact, teachers would bring other teachers in the room. They're like, this is amazing. You actually have
Oh, that's my favorite part. We got to hear that again. Go back a little bit. Hey, quick, everyone. John's teaching.
I believe it. I believe the teachers are like, Ted, get in here. You have to see this. I think they trained a monkey to teach a class.
Hey, everyone, quick. There's a baboon talking to the children.
Quick, get the stun gun. I think a silverback's in there.
And the kids, of course, they took to me. In fact, teachers would bring other teachers in the room. They were like, this is amazing. We actually have somebody.
Oh, my God. Look at him. Look at the way he writes on the chalkboard.
Have you ever seen a head that big? Never.
They were very happy.
I'm picturing John just go to the chalkboard writing music and underlining it. And he's like, there, what does that mean to you, kids?
Writing out like a really complicated set of notes. All right, whoever can solve this will be the prize student this year. Good thing.
John walks in one day and it's solved. Oh my God, who did this?
And it's letters in the musical alphabet A, B, blank, D. He's like, someone got this.
Turns out it was the assistant principal the whole time.
The other guy wasn't good. He was good too, but he had to leave. He had a family emergency.
He was about to lambaste this guy.
He wasn't good. He was good. What?
This guy's wife is dying of cancer or something. He took a little time off, and everyone's like, "Hey, thank God that old hunk of junk is out of here. We can watch John teach now."
That guy had no major record label offers. Get him out of here.
In that vacancy. And, I love children.
He's getting a little red-eyed, a little sad. He's thinking about himself. This is a true narcissist. When you think about yourself and cry, your mind's fucked.
If Cardiff Electric gets his way, the other teachers won't have a show anymore. Quick! I like the glee. Everyone, the rush. Everyone's hustling into John's. Is he teaching? They're peeking through the door. Look at him. Look at him go. And John sees them there and kind of nods, but he doesn't want to take away from the lesson plan.
I'm imagining 1950s Beatles. Like they're just passing out in the hallway when he
Yeah.
walks.
The female teachers are ripping their shirts off and throwing them at him. Okay.
How does that sound, John?
And I love teaching children.
Oh, good.
Skull.
I taught my own kids.
Wow. Shouldn't everybody? That's not an achievement.
I taught them to hate. I taught them to hate their father figure. That is me.
I tried to have a closed doors session with the kids, but of course Susanna was rushing in to watch me take in the glory.
I made some spreadsheets for my kids so they could work on that while I work out the G code. This one's called Cardiff's Chaos. Cardiff has entered the chat.
So, I would have said to Cardiff, if he released video of this, I would have said, do we really need to do this? You know? Like, here's where I'm with John for a moment. It would annoy me if, like, everywhere I went, these people were trying, like, that would be annoying, right?
But you would also change behavior after, like, years of it, right?
Right,
You would, like,
yes.
okay,
I wouldn't be
something's going on.
challenging them on the internet every day.
No.
And here's where, like, people like Cardiff do know the line. I was like, for a minute, I was kind of like, is Cardiff, did he really release? Because the way John talks, you would think Cardiff released this video and it got one of the kids in trouble or something. Cardiff didn't release anything.
Nope.
He showed up to annoy John because he thought it'd be funny. And he was probably right. Think about the image. You're in court and just a potato shows up. Little Santa hat or whatever he's wearing. And you're just like, God damn it. It would annoy me. But it is kind of funny. And if he doesn't do anything with it, who really gives a shit? You know? I get why John would be annoyed, but I would say the best course of action is not to do what we're about to hear.
Yeah. Did you see what Cardiff actually did, though, on his show?
Did he draw stick figures or something?
He drew pictures, and it was fucking amazing. Like, that's genius.
But that's where Cardiff knows the line. You know what I mean? Like, John wants to act like people like Cardiff are, like, ruining his life. Cardiff gets it. He hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
What John will say is the worst thing that Cardiff did is threaten, quote unquote, to show up at John's son's high school graduation and film it. Cardiff was kidding. He was going to do that. It's crazy.
All Cardiff Electric did was deprive those kids of a damn good teacher.
How did he do that? How did Cardiff do that? Cardiff's not the one that made him go to court during class.
Can we give him a medal for that, Cardiff?
That's all they.
Here's the thing. I don't know the right equivalent. Like, I don't work for Barstool. I'm on Kirk's show twice a week, but I'm not an employee there. But that's the best example I can think of. Like, if people were calling Barstool and trying to get it so that, like, I can't appear on the show anymore or whatever, that would be very annoying to me. But I'm also not behaving in a way where I should be banned. You know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't go like, well, people called us, so you're no longer allowed on KMS. You know what I mean? There would have to be a punishment that fits the crime. Like in my case, in the scenario I laid out, there's no crime. What John is doing, like, these people are assholes for calling the school if they did that. But what they're saying is, hey, John is on a Zoom call with court, with the Lee County court office during his class. Now, the school might hear that and say, we should probably get rid of him. If they were just saying, like, hey, John criticized the dues payer, they would hang up on that person and not give it another thought, you know?
Correct. Yes.
Deprive those kids of a damn good teacher.
John, I'm just picturing John walking out like a Dead Poet Society. Oh, Captain, my captain.
That's all they did. That's it. And these kids are adorable. They try and hug me, but I'm not allowed.
Away! Stay away! Come on, John, please! I'm picturing John holding their head as they're, like, reaching for him. Come on, Mr. Melendez. I want to give you a hug so bad.
I grabbed the broom and fended him off.
Yeah, yeah.
Stay back, stay back.
John's he's picked up a chair. He's poked like he's a lion tamer.
But they, you give them a fist bump. But these kids enjoy.
All right, John, I'll take what I can get. I want that hug so bad, but fine, I'll settle for a fist bump. You're a hell of a negotiator.
Line up for the end of the day fist bump.
You've haggled me down. I'll take what I can get.
Singing and my playing the guitar and showing them octaves and how the 7 notes, and then you go to the octave, which is the 8th octave, hence OCT. But see,
hey, I didn't pay for all this extra knowledge.
Hence OCT. He discovered something.
Does he mean prefix?
No, he's right.
No, I know he's right, but the word he's looking for is prefix, right?
It is not the one he said.
You don't just say OCT.
Yes. No. The flood came. I'm glad. FEMA is here. It doesn't make much sense.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the point being is he's not hurting me by showing up as that stupid potato. And I saw him as soon as I saw the fucking idiot. I turned my camera off.
Wow.
Now, granted, I tilted my screen like this. I had no idea. But of course, I guess at some point, some kids had, could you help me find a...
John, I'm going to get that hug, you son of a bitch. They jump on him like a spider monkey.
I'm here for my fist bump. Not now. I'm uncorking. There's a potato.
Getting that hug from you, Melendez, whether you like it or not.
What if they came up to the screen because they saw a potato on the screen and they're like, potato.
Oh, is that Cardiff? I love his show.
That would be fucking
The kids start singing, wake your dumb ass up because it's time for Tukey soup.
You et two second graders, et two.
A word, and I would say there's cello, there's piccolo, and I would help the kids out.
Makes you feel safe. And that's if John shows you where the word piccolo is on your word search.
Piccolo.
You're like, everything is all right.
I can't spell piccolo. These are second graders. What is he doing?
Well, hey, John, throw him in the pool. Teach him how to swim,
Yeah, so we're right around this area. I might be off a little bit.
Okay.
By showing up as that stupid potato.
Perfect.
Nicely done.
And I saw him as soon as I saw the fucking idiot. I turned my camera off. Now, granted, I tilted my screen like this. I had no idea.
Granted, that doesn't make any sense there. Now, granted, I tilted my screen. What does that mean?
No, it doesn't make sense. Like he's giving up a point to the opposition. Granted, you're right, opposition, on this one. I was totally wrong to be in a school doing okay, so we're right. Granted, I should not have been doing this.
But of course, I guess at some point some kids had, could you help me find a word? And I would say there's cello, there's piccolo. I would
have a lot of learning going on. You're showing them where it is. I would say, well, what does cello start with? Not here. Here it is. I've ruined it for you.
It's right there. Go sit down.
As you would, you say, just look for the first letter, or look for a P.
There you go. Me and John, equal second grade teachers.
If John was funny, he could have printed out some potatoes for the kids to color while this was going on. Like, he could have had some fun with this.
And you go down the line and you find And that being said, and they were supposed to write their favorite instrument and the 3 instruments they like and a little sentence about each instrument. Banjo has 5 strings.
Wow, like John. It does? That's really cool that you know that.
Our education system is fucked.
No one, I was going to say love. Love is the wrong word. No one savors a fun fact like John. Like if John has something in his, the banjo's 5 strings. I know that. Wow, very good, John. You know a fact? That's really impressive.
I'm just double checking that because I've sseen banjos with like 6 strings. I know it. Okay, standard banjo has 5. Just double checking. See, I've been in.
That'd be great. That'd be great if it was wrong.
I know. I was like, oh, it was a ukulele. God damn. Oh.
So at least they could do some of their research on their laptop, and
Research.
Anyway, that's what I
research. Google. Where is cello in this word search? What are they researching?
The kids, you need to have your doctorates ready by 3rd period.
How to play the banjo. That's what you should be teaching them.
Yes.
I had prepared for the few minutes I was going to be on this meeting. And I did not plan, which is, my bad.
He's not
is I didn't
finished
plan
one sentence. He has not finished a sentence yet.
So hard for him to just say, oops, I fucked this one up. He strings it out until he just nods until eternity, until you forget what he's talking about.
And
That's
I'll say it again. I don't give a fuck that John's a teacher. Now, I heard maybe Carl or someone say this, that like if John was just honest about stuff, like if he just said like, oh yeah, I'm a teacher in Florida, then no one would care. That's not true. Someone would still post on Reddit where the school is and all, like that type of shit would still happen. And if you're John, that is kind of shitty. And that's where I agree with him. But like, just don't make it part of your life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like your entire life revolves around telling everyone what you do every day and then reading negative super chats about it. Like if that wasn't your life, you wouldn't be dealing with this horse shit,
Very few people on this planet will get you to suspend your moral ethics, and he's one of them. He's one of them.
Yeah.
For a kid to come. I had no idea that any kid would be on screen, but here's the point. I am thinking that I'm in the safest environment in the world in a federal court.
Well, you were in a classroom, so you weren't in a court, John. You realize why the Zoom meeting was being had, right? John's like, and now I'm in front of the Hollywood sign. Here I am. John thinks he's wherever his green screen is.
And safe from what? I thought I was safe from these trolls that were going to expose that I was doing something I shouldn't be doing. So he thought he was safe from being exposed in federal court. What?
Yeah, and again, John's reacting to Cardiff as if Cardiff like released something. Cardiff hadn't even talked about it at this point,
And do you do your car registration at federal court? I mean, what the fuck is he talking about?
I think it's because he got pulled over without without his vehicle being properly registered or something. I don't know.
Oh, send him to the feds.
Yeah,
the FBI will take care of this. What?
Yeah.
I'm in a courtroom.
Yes, you are, John.
You weren't, though. He wasn't. He was in a classroom.
My voice and picture, I will need to sue because they have a super tip machine in the courtroom and I need money from the court. My image was used.
So how do you make John sound more retarded than he is?
That's the goal.
So this is where, obviously, the law needs to get involved, right?
Always with him. This guy, I'm a Karen of all Karens.
Good. For a minute, I was worried. I said, I hope the authorities have been alerted, but it doesn't sound like it. And then I was like, oh, good. Good. We got the cops involved.
But if they were, and this idiot on Thursday goes on Rumble, hey, Rob, and he decides...
Oh, good. We have the insight of Rob Saul, finally. That's good.
I think he called Rob this idiot. Oh, hi, Rob. He's like, this idiot. Oh, hi, Rob.
A sexy woman. John just thinks he has magical powers.
Yes, I made you appear.
He's children.
Rob is looking crazy lately too, Mike. His
eyes
eyes are wild. He's got wild eyes, wild man eyes.
First of all, I will tell you, Cardiff, and this is a fact. I did immediately call the police and called Lee County Court, and I notified them of your name, Cardiff Electric, and I told them of your.
That's
intent.
not. Hold on, John. That's not his name. He's not from the Electric family. Cardiff. I told them your name, Cardiff Electric.
The federal court, Lee County Court. It's a county, you dumb fuck.
What I would give for the recording of that phone call. Excuse me, ambulance, fire, police, all of them. I need a manhunt for this potato.
We need to FOIA every call to 911 or the feds John ever made.
What did he say? Like, so he's got the police on the line, and he's like, I thought you should know this. There's a man who lives in Canada who uses a potato filter and goes by the name Cardiff Electric. Oh, you knew that already. Good. So you're keeping up with me. So today, I was teaching a second grade class, obviously. And I was simultaneously on a Zoom call fighting a traffic ticket.
What?
Oh, you guessed that. Oh, man, you're very good at this.
Did I mention I'm a substitute teacher?
Oh, this is your third call like this tonight. No, I'm not the same guy. I know, very common problem. So anyways, in that Zoom call, the potato guy that I was telling you about earlier, the guy in Canada, he showed up in that call, and he did funny faces, and he licked his lips, and at the end, he called me a drunk. Oh, you were already looking for him. Oh, thank God. All right, good.
I think we're missing he sort of told on himself here because he's like, I got into the court. I had 20 minutes in between classes. And then right after the call, I called police. I said, kids, here's some more homework. I got to call the police now. Like, he spent more time calling of class time because he
I love the idea that he printed out 100 of the same worksheet and he just keeps handing the same worksheet back to him.
I did this.
It's like, man, this gets easier every time. The banjo has 5 strings. I remember.
Now, kids, I'm going to teach you how to call the FBI on a potato.
I did immediately call the police and called Lee County Court. And I notified them of your name, Cardiff Electric, and I told them of your intent because,
you told them of his intent. You got to decide that.
They asked if he was baked or scallops. I don't know.
I like the idea of asking the victim. All right, what was the intention of the perpetrator?
His intention was to be nefarious.
Your Honor, this man has been stalking me and making threats for months. Yeah, but what's his side of the story? Have you stopped to ask that?
We've only known you for 3 seconds, and we want to hear his side of the story.
I told him his intent.
John, without the talent, without the charisma, without the jokes, without the humor.
Can you imagine getting that phone call now? Your Honor, I keep acting like he's on the phone with the judge. Dispatcher.
Yes, this is dispatch.
Okay, I've got a problem. There's a potato that's stalking me.
Another one.
Yeah. Oh, you've had 4 of these calls. I forgot. But let me tell you, his intent was malice. And it's really because, no, I'm going to keep going. It's really because he's not as talented and as funny as me.
Mm-hmm. Sir, are you teaching children right now?
Obviously, yes.
All right, well, hang up the phone.
But I gave them dittos.
Can they find the piccolo, sir? It's most important that they find the piccolo.
They've moved on to cello right now.
The mind of an improviser. Look at us just improvising. Does John have these skills?
Let's see. Oh, I know what this is. I forgot. We should give this a little more setup. So this, I don't want to spend much time on it, but if I wanted to, we could spend the next 2 days on this.
Got nothing to do, Mike.
Listen to these jackasses. I mean, you guys have heard about some of the black people versus N-words. Amazing Chris Rock bit. 7 words you can't say on television. A Carlin bit that's quoted all the time. This is in that pantheon of great bits where one day we'll just say the shorthand will be, Saul doing Shuley, and everyone will know what you're talking about. They're getting a peek behind the curtain. So we're going to show you the sketch that they're talking about. But first I want to hear these numbskulls ruminate on the history of this great bit that they pulled off. So Rob Saul did an impression of Shuley. He wore a hat and glasses. You'll see in a moment. But he did an impression of Shuley. This is them talking about the impression, and then after that, we'll get to see the impression. So let's hear them pontificate on it.
Rob, first of all, Vince applauded you.
Yeah.
Vince said, and I don't know if you saw my show yesterday, he was like, Rob, that was the funniest fucking improv that, I mean, it really was.
Well, that's really high praise. You hold on. That impression made its way back to Vince. I mean, that's really cool. I never thought Vince would be watching John's show one day and have an opinion on it. That's crazy that it made its way to Vince. John's acting like he's saying, like, Rob, I've got news for you. Howard Stern actually thought that was funny. And Rob would be like, oh my God, Howard saw it? That's crazy. Vince, the guy that watches and trolls my show every day, he said that was pretty good, Rob. That's I mean, that's the pinnacle for any comedian, is getting praise from Vince the lawyer.
I would run if I got that praise. I'd be like, no, it's coming.
Something's
Something's
up.
coming.
Yeah.
I was shocked with myself because we didn't. It's not like we script. I didn't tell John.
Hold on. Go back. I was shocked with myself. We're going to hear these assholes wax poetic about this bit. And guys, when you see the bit, I hope you're sitting down. You're not going to believe how good this bit is. But let's hear these guys praise themselves for this amazing impression.
If you saw my show yesterday, he was like, Rob, that was the funniest fucking improv.
How does he do
that,
it?
I mean, it really was. And now, of
I
course,
was shocked with myself because we didn't. It's not like we script. I didn't tell John I was coming on camera.
No, but of course I took credit. I go, well, it's because
John just took the ball and ran with it. I like Rob saying, like, hey, I'm just part of a team here. Don't give me all the flowers, you know?
Oh shit. Hold on one second. Here we go.
Yeah. So I didn't even tell John I was coming in and doing it. And I just was going to do a thing. And I started, if you see the clip, I take the hat glasses off and then John starts to interview me as the shit where I was like, oh shit, I put it back on.
Oh man. Rob, so much must have been rushing through your mind.
It's like I'm watching Inside the Actor's Studio. These two talking about their craft.
It's beyond that, honestly. Like, this is talking about like an acting role that like no one thought you could pull off, you know? It's like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. It's like people can't even get away with that now, Robert. How did you do it? You were nominated for an Oscar in a comedy? That never happens.
Funny stuff out of it. Yeah, I mean, I thought.
Yeah, well, I used to do that with Hal Sparks. He was this guy.
When he talked to me.
The name was Ficus.
We all remember.
And I
John,
would
don't even waste your breath explaining. We all remember Ficus.
Another one in the long line of characters I created.
Well, here's what's great, though. I mean, Rob, well-deserved praise for the amazing bit. It's astonishing he was able to do it. So,
Emmy Award winning. Yes.
Yeah, Rob deserves all the critical acclaim he's receiving. But John's like, it reminds me of something great I did once. It's like, oh, okay. Let's hear about this then. Something that has nothing to do with what Rob was talking about.
Let me use this as a way to get to my compliment of myself.
You make John have a lot more trouble speaking than he does.
I listen to way too much Eric the Midget, I think. Turn him into.
I would do the same stuff, and then he would always he'd be great. He'd be, he's hysterical, but you would fucking held your own, Rob. I mean,
wow, hey, there you go, sport. Look at you, big guy. You did something only Hal Sparks as Ficus could have pulled off. Before Rob did this character, I heard a lot of people saying, there's no way that someone could do an impression of Schulz on a podcast. It's not possible. And then Rob obliterated that glass ceiling and said, I'll show you all. So I'm very excited to get to this Rob Saul clip, but let's hear the rest of this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob.
And he was like, I can't believe how quick that you came up with that shit.
Yeah, I
came up with that.
I was impressed with myself.
Impressed with myself.
John, if I'm being honest, I wasn't sure I could even do it, Not only did everyone else not believe in me, I'm not sure I believed in myself. But sure enough, I was impressed with myself. Guys, if you haven't seen this, I'm so excited to show you what these jackasses are talking about.
Yes.
I mean, he was like, I can't believe how quick that you came up with that shit.
Yeah, I believe me, I was impressed with myself. I watched
Hey,
it back. Like I said,
Hey, I didn't know I had that in me either, you know? Honestly, John, I don't know where it came from. It just kind of popped out of me. Like, it really, all of a sudden, like, I wasn't Rob Saul doing Shuli. I became Shuli Egar.
It's like I became Jordan in the playoffs.
Yeah, like it took over. I wasn't me anymore. I was watching myself from the outside.
myself and cringe, but I watched that. I'm like, look at that. That's pretty quick
It was my king speech.
on my feet. But
All right. So let's see the bit that these guys are just, I mean, praising, like you said inside the actor studio, James Lipton is jealous of how much ball washing these guys are doing. James Lipton is looking down, thinking, I wish I could have pulled that off in my career, complimenting someone that beautifully. So let's see the bit, shall we?
This clip comes from So Thorough Joe Burrow. Thank you so much, So Thorough.
Yes. And that was a big part of the thing. Rob Saul goes, this so thorough Joe Burrow evidently labeled this Rob Saul's awful Shuli impression. I don't want to lead the audience. Don't take anything from that. Form your own opinions. But I guess So Thorough Joe Burrow, an account on YouTube, called this Rob Saul's awful Shuli impression or something like that. And Rob Saul goes, the people on Twitter wouldn't stand for that. They made him change it. and this So Thorough Joe Burrow guy was so jealous. He was like, I'm not changing it. I don't care what any of you say. And they're like, but Rob's impression was so good. You're being dishonest.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I don't know. Let's see if you guys are in the camp of So Thorough Joe Burrow or Rob Saul.
And Mike, I just want you to keep in mind, no script. No script.
That's
And
impossible.
I gotta wipe.
Hold on. Casey, I've watched this. You're telling me there was no script for this?
I
They didn't
can't
write
believe it
this
either.
down?
I can't believe it either. It's just
Hey, you guys all know Shuli, right? From the Uncle Rico show? Well, you're about to see him.
yes.
The hemorrhoid blood out of my ass crack. Hey, the shitway is here.
Shuli, is that you?
It
No.
is.
Casey, I'm sorry. This is a clip from the Uncle Rico show. I want Rob doing the Shuli impression.
I thought these two didn't do shows together. I thought these were mortal enemies. What's going on here?
Yeah, why are they laughing and having such a good time? Shuli, have you changed?
No, I don't see
Obviously
a
you
script.
haven't, because that sounds exactly like you.
I'm looking everywhere. I see no script. I see no papers. I see no tickets. There's nothing. This is off the dome, Mike. Off the dome.
And
Some
this is
freestyle.
again where people get hung up on the wrong thing, in my opinion. Can you describe what Shuli is wearing in this sketch?
Well, it's a pretty anti-Semitic little costume you got on there.
See, that's what everyone is taking that stand, that he's got a big nose. I say, why bother with that? Listen, I don't think Rob's intent was to make this anti-Semitic. I think the horns were a little much, but I don't think. I do think there's part of him that was like, oh, he's Jewish, I'll get the big nose or whatever. But I don't think Rob Saul hates Jews or anything like that.
No.
I think he was just going for a Shuli impression. Does Shuli wear glasses?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, so that's like he was wearing the glasses and he found the one with the dumb fake nose and said, oh, he's Jewish. That'd be kind of funny. Everyone is like going at Rob being like, this was an anti-Semitic impression. I say, let it stand. Watch the impression, guys. Stop trying to silence great comedy with all this cancel culture woke bullshit. I say, let the bit stand for what it is. Let's hear the genius that comes out of Rob Saul here.
John doesn't show. Nobody likes him. He's just sitting there wearing his hypocrisy police shirt.
That is so Shuli, huh, guys?
I mean, bravo. Just a tour de force. Just.
Are you telling me he
Chef's
did
kiss.
that with no script?
No
Hold on.
script?
Let's
no
keep
scribbles.
going, because I refuse to believe this gets better as it goes along. It's
All
impossible.
right.
Yeah, I think
Good job, Rob. So,
Hey.
wait, hold on. Oh, I was going to ask you.
Oh,
Oh
sorry,
no,
shit,
Shuley
sorry,
left.
sorry.
Rob, when did you get here?
Oh, boo. Downgraded. Big downgrade.
I like the idea that John actually thinks it's Shuley. He's like, wait, Rob? Why are
I
you
did
and
not know-
Shuley in the same room?
You are a magician.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see.
This is some of that great improv we were hearing about.
Hey guys, you're supposed to be laughing. Let's get the laughing guy. Sorry, my crew.
Bob Levy said that you used to ask him and tell him that it was imperative that he laugh at every joke. Is that true?
Yeah, you got to keep the laughter going. You got to support the team. I mean, come on. I mean,
Now, here's where maybe I don't watch enough Uncle Rico's show. Is that a Shuley catchphrase? Is that like an insightful thing that Rob picked up on that Shuley said? Or is it just a man who hates someone and is going, this guy's a jackass? Hey, guys, don't I sound like Shuley right now?
It's the definition of low-hanging fruit, Mike. Yes. This is,
The impression has nothing to it.
No.
Well, like, you messaged me a clip of Kyle Dunnigan talking about how much Bill Maher hates him.
yes.
Kyle Dunnigan does a perfect Bill Maher.
It's perfect. Yes.
For a couple of it sounds like him. It sounds exactly like Bill Maher. But even if it didn't, like I'm willing to accept some impressions that don't really sound like the guy if they pick up on some nuances about that person. This is neither. This is just a man who hates Shuley, who's like, doesn't this jackass overlaugh everyone? And then I don't even care about the impression. I heard this live and I didn't think to clip it. I didn't give a fuck about it until I heard them go, you know, it's really interesting, John. I'm glad you asked me about my thought process on this. I was thinking, how do I become Shuley Egar? And, I got into that mindset and I started, buying fake memberships for my channel. And I started trolling John all day. And the next thing I knew, I was more Shuley than Rob Saul. And I had to take a step away and think, like, does Rob even exist anymore? And that's why I had to get out of that character, because really my mindset was I was becoming this man that I hated so much. And really that's the duality of acting. Now let's go back to the clip that he's talking about when he does this.
What is your favorite curse word?
I hire Silent Mike Morse, the big fat chub hub.
Hey, Shuley works with those guys. I've heard him say
Yes.
those names before. That's good.
I know those guys too.
Yeah. Boy, he really picked up on something about this Shuley. He does know Mike Morse. That is so Shuley to introduce Mike Morse.
The big Ozempic. I mean, these guys, it's hard enough for them to get laughs. We need the team. Support the team. You know what I'm
But
saying?
now here's the problem. You're having a contest for most gifted membership shitware. That's against the law.
Thinks he's doing a real interview.
I'm calling the police right now on you, shitware. You're done.
Shuley, don't you
It's me,
understand
Rob.
that buying fake memberships is wrong? Like he's actually asking things that he want to ask Shuley.
I know it's against the law to buy them too, but here we
Oh, that is so Shuley.
are.
So shitware, there is
It's very cathartic for John, though. Whatever this experience is, what he's going through is very cathartic.
John's like, yes. Now, how about your big fat pig wife?
Yes. What's it like to mount that mountain? Oh, I can't believe I'm actually get to say these things. It's amazing.
John loves it. John is acting like as if it's as good as Kyle Dunnigan's Bill Maher, where he's like, oh my God, is that Shuley? Like John is really, he's smitten with this character.
there's rumors that you have a full-time job. Is that true?
Oh, I can't wait to see what Rob does with this.
Making people laugh.
Tell me, what is that like?
I hope Rob doesn't do the overlaughing thing again, because I'm going to bust a gut. Like, and I'm worried about my organs, quite frankly, from so much laughter. There it is.
How was that full-time?
I'd apply for unemployment.
Get it?
So,
Because
is
he's
it
not
true?
working. He doesn't have a job, so he applied for unemployment. Yet he can afford fake memberships to keep us. I don't quite track a lot of it, but by the way, John has a job, and Rob has a job. I don't get any of this, but we don't need much more of that. I think people understand how. Let's hear a little bit more, Shuli.
Just one more segment.
You are embarrassed.
It's the greatest impression I've ever seen. How can we not watch all 6
That's true. We should drink it in. That's unfair to people.
Embarrassed to have to watch me every single day to pay your mortgage.
Oh yeah, when the kids walk in the room, I put on the porn ESO sent me because I'm too embarrassed and I'm watching you.
You know how this has been, and for an episode we did of Why You Laughing, I found interviews of Lorne Michaels saying this. He said, "What's really funny is if, like, we have someone like Jay Farrow or Daryl Hammond or Dana Carvey, like one of these great impressionists that we often have on the show. I always say what would make a great sketch is have someone who hates them most interview them and ask serious questions, and you give the answer that you always hoped they would give."
Yes.
We make it not playful at all. Some people say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I think you should really despise the person you're doing an impression of. That's why Alec Baldwin was so great as Trump.
Yes, this is John doing fan service to himself. He's like, this is what I would like to hear. Let's do it. Rob, say these things, and I will say the things I've always thought.
So there are more rumors going that are, being alleged that you do smoke so much pot in the house that there's.
I bet he's about to own Shuli's ass on this one. I bet Shuli's not going to have a good answer when his feet are held to the fire here.
He does think it's Shuli. You're smoking weed. I'm going to get you in trouble. Let me call the FBI. He thinks it's Shuli.
Get that secondhand smoke. Aren't you concerned about that?
Well, the problem is I got to keep begging for super chats for more snacks in the house because the kids always have the munchies.
Hold on.
That was
The kids are smoking weed?
It was the closest thing to a punchline that I've heard so far. It was bad, but
are the kids getting high because he's an irresponsible father, or
secondhand smoke? I think that was the original joke. It's like secondhand smoke. Well, we got to get snacks because the kids are high. Hey,
I mean, if you've ever been around a smoker and not smoking, immediately you have to eat food.
Yes,
because you're so high.
Yes.
How much longer is left in this?
4 minutes.
Oh God! All right, let's bail. That's it. You guys get the idea. It's a great impression.
Yes,
but how great is that? How great is that? Listening to them go like, "Well, John, I really transformed into Shuli. Like, I don't know, it was an out of body experience." You could do that to anyone. Give me a celebrity.
Ryan Reynolds.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. I'm always doing wacky commercials. I'm Ryan Reynolds, you see? I'm saying my name, and I'm overacting, so you know I'm doing an impression of someone.
I like it.
Give me another.
Go to that movie.
All right, let's move on.
All right. We do have some super chats, Mike. Would you...
well, let's hear them, for God's sake.
Let's get up. No DJ Electra today, but she will be on Catch 22. She is resting. All right. Fun.
She's not too sick for Catch 22, huh?
No.
The hell's this about?
Listen, she's a busy girl. All
right.
She's got things to do.
I expect an apology, but that's all right.
Okay, yeah, send an apology and some titty pictures.
Yeah, I'm going to say, she knows what I mean by that, yeah.
Okay, Fun OK, 1 gifted Blind Mike membership. Thank you, Fun OK.
Thank you, buddy.
Kirkland Red, $4.99. Are you on Team Bree or Team Grace? Let's do a show on all the Barstool drama. I literally know nothing about that. I almost talked about the Kirk and Dave stuff, but I figured I'll be on, I think, tomorrow. So he's exactly good boy. I think I'll be on tomorrow. Actually, Justin hasn't told me that yet, so I don't know. But I literally know nothing about the Grace Brianna beef. I should bone up on it for tomorrow, maybe. But I don't know what their issue is. All I really know is Brianna Chicken Fry is like DMing people about Grace O'Malley, but I don't really know much more than that. So let me know if you have insight into that. Let me know the deets. All right. Dawn Fried Chicken, $4.99. Kragers was supposed to pick up my daughter from the preschool, but says he's not allowed within a mile. What does he mean by this?
You know, I'm not sure. He mentions that to me a lot. We have certain meeting spots that we have to go. Like if we used to record Why Are You Laughing, like in person with each other, and we had to go out of state to record because he had very specific locations he needed.
Yeah, you're way too close to a school, Mike.
Yeah.
Fun okay with another 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you,
And
buddy.
then another one. 6 total.
Oh, you're a good man.
Yeah, that's very, very nice.
Or woman.
Yes, a person. Very nice person. Patrick Ford, $1.99. Good morning to all except the potato and dud shark. So Patrick
Yes.
Ford is not a fan of the potato.
Oh, I like Cardiff.
Or he's just kidding, and we just don't know the context.
I assume.
Dang Lizard, €5. John probably poisoned Magneto, his old cat, by accident and left them alone at his house for days.
Oh yeah, I
But
forgot
still
about
don't
that.
like that people called animal control on him.
I agree. I don't like. Yes, John probably is not a great cat owner, but it's not for us to interfere with. You know, I agree with that.
No, I'm a huge animal person and cat person, but those cats' fates were sealed when they walked into that house. So it's kind of you kind of just got to let it happen.
John goes. Animal control came to my house, and they said, "We hear you're abusing these cats," and I said, "I got these cats for my children." It's like, what does that mean? Yeah, you can still be abusing them. That has nothing to do with anything.
Mike, you know how in nature a photographer will just have to let like a baby giraffe get eaten?
Yeah.
You just got to let those cats go, people.
Yeah.
They're already
Yeah. It's not up to us. It's out of our
nature
hands.
take its course. Patrick Ford for $1.99. The potato hates the youth and our school teachers. He was kidding. He does hate her.
Yeah, that is true. Cardiff has always headed out for those kids and wanted them doxxed. So
It's an attack on America, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Diablo Sandwich, $2. This is jealousy because Mike can't do a word search.
That's fair. There might be something to that.
It'd take Mike all day to find a piccolo. Carol Dillon, €5. Been on SJ for years, including crazy cancer scams, but this week is up there in his top 3. My friend is in Brazil and phoned me about Stut Joe this week. Yes, it's pulled us all back in this week. I was out. And it pulled me
Yeah,
back
but
in.
we only have so much more. He's definitely retiring on the 31st. You know, when he gives it 2 weeks, it's not like he's just going to forget that he even said it in 2 weeks.
But also, so he quit his job and he quit his other job? What, is he just going to sit and stare at a wall? I don't get his... wouldn't
Oh, that's
he
a good
quit
point, too, yeah.
Okay, the school job's gone. I'm back. Get the mud shark on the line. We're going at it, Chadley. Why is he quitting?
Well, he left it with the caveat. He's like, I'm still going to do the political show with Ojeda
okay.
and Brian Karam. And he goes, so that'll bring me in, $700 a month or something. Which it's like, that's not a living. But also, like, you think no one's going to super chat you about the fucking dues payer or whatever, you know?
And then when those guys go, he's always like, well, I'll stick around for another...
A little more
20 minutes."
Dabbleverse. Yeah.
All right, we got a couple more here. Rockerbee, 2002 with $10. Unless it's some rich Chinese toddler wonderkin forced to play the cello by his overbearing tiger mom, I don't know any second graders who care about music theory. Exactly.
Yeah, that was maybe the best point you've made so far today is that we didn't take music class in 2nd grade.
No, we can't even speak. We're still being taught how to eat. Another gifted membership by Fun OK, and another. So
Oh my
for a total-
God, this guy's out of his mind. He's almost as crazy as my friend Joe from Virginia of J37shop.com. Giving stuff away.
Yes, let me get that up real quick. Boom, Joe37shop.com. Go to
J37.
That. Right. J37. What did I say? Joe37. Although, arguably a better name. All right. Jimmy's neglected mother, $5. Back in my youth, minstrel shows were fun family entertainment. Oh no, it's a very old lady. So,
Okay. All right. Well, that's fun.
yeah. All right. Off to Jeselnik. Yes.
All right. Yeah. So I thought we were done. All right. This time, after
now.
this segment, we're done talking about Anthony Jeselnik. But he keeps getting my attention. And I did on Why You Laughing, the top 10 specials of 2024. That's up for members now. You can go check it out. It'll be up later this week for everyone else. And
awesome.
we may have discussed Anthony Jeselnik a little bit on that episode. His special was very good. Like very good. You know, I don't know if it's his best, but it's up there in quality. And it could have stood on its own. And if I watched that special, I would have said, oh, that's a funny thing Jeselnik did with Rogan. Like, he's kind of fucking with Rogan a little bit. He's calling out something that probably should be called out, and that's the end of it. He's doing it as his character. He's doing it with comedy. That's exactly how Anthony Jeselnik should be handling it. But he's gone on literally every podcast he's gone on. He mentions Joe Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe, and he makes allusions about Tim Dillon and all these other people. And he talks about how if you do a podcast, you're not a comedian, and he's doing that on a podcast. He's talked to Mark Maron about how if you interview a politician seriously, you're not a comedian. He doesn't mention that Maron interviewed Obama. So it's like very frustrating. Then my pal Jeremy, who's he's up on a lot of this stuff. He watches a lot of podcasts. I think he's the one that told us about Ty Rivera, and he's very into some of the Rogan controversies. He alerted me to this clip where Jeselnik takes another dig at these guys. Last week, we talked about how beautifully the Legion of Skanks handled the Jeselnik situation. Again, with comedy. And this is Anthony Jeselnik reacting to it and talking about how great his special was and how all the haters are out to get him.
This is called negative comments.
Yes.
I'll be honest, and I think this will happen eventually, but I'm surprised that the trans bit in the beginning of the special has not gotten more pop. People seem to...
Oh, isn't that interesting? Anthony's like, come on, guys. Give me shit. I want to be super edgy. Anthony's complaining that people aren't outraged enough by his edgy material. Like, I think that's what this all stems from, is I think Anthony's a little jealous that all these guys are getting the articles written about it, like offensive material, or this comic's in trouble for talking about cancel culture or whatever. I agree with Anthony's take that the cancel culture stuff is overdone. That's why we stopped talking about it, for the most part, on this show. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, a story will come up that interests me, but even the tone of those, it's not the same as it was 4 years ago when things were getting really crazy. So I agree with Anthony. Like, when Rogan now talks about cancel culture stuff, it sounds dated, like it's been done to death. But look at, here's Anthony saying, like, why aren't more people outraged by all the shocking stuff I did? It's like, because you don't move the needle in that way. People get your gimmick. He's very funny. He's a great stand-up. But, like, it's not anything anyone's going to complain about because there are no real stakes involved. So it's weird to hear Anthony be like, but how come I'm not the edgy guy? Why?
You totally changed me on this. Like, the whole stakes argument, like, got into my head, and, like, he risks nothing.
Which, by the way, I don't give a fuck about.
No.
Like,
but
Jim Gaffigan risks nothing. Well, now he's doing political stuff, oddly. Yes. But, like, you know, Jim Gaffigan talking about food, or Jerry Seinfeld, like, these people, there are no stakes for them either. Nate Bargatze, perfect example. Nate talking about his family is not going to get you in trouble, but he's still a great comedian. Like, Anthony's not going to get in trouble for anything he does, but he's a great comic.
But he doesn't get up on stage or behind these on the podcast and then go after other comedians who are not using the stakes that he's not using. Like,
exactly,
it's apples and oranges, baby. Like,
right. It would be like if Nate Bargatze was saying something like, why aren't these comics calling anyone out? Why aren't they doing, like, the edgy stuff? And then Nate tells a joke about his family. It's like, well, you're not going to get in trouble for that. What are you talking about?
And it's weird because Jeselnik has backed himself into a corner here where the only thing left to do is add stakes to his comedy, right? Like, that's it. He can't just keep doing this because he's kind of been shown to be, an emperor with no clothes. So tell us a real story about your life, and then maybe
which he did in the especially as a joke about Norm Macdonald, or a story about Norm Macdonald that's very funny.
Yeah. So, but that's new. That's not like what he's done in the past.
Yeah.
The Rogan fans are very in on the Rogan joke. And I'm surprised that it's more Rogan fans than Rogan detractors who are in on it, but it's not that big a deal.
See, he's mad about the people who liked all the Rogan fans that you said aren't comedy fans. They were all like, nice. We totally get it. In fact, we kind of agree with the point you're making, and it made us laugh. Meanwhile, he wanted to appeal to the people that hate Rogan, and no one gave a fuck. Like, Jeselnik's fans, a lot of them probably listened to Rogan and heard that joke and were like, that's funny. And for some reason, Anthony's like mad about that.
Hey, I had a quick question, totally off subject, but I thought you would know. What happened to Bo Burnham? Where'd he go?
He disappears. I don't know.
What the it's been like 5 years now. What the fuck, man?
That's what last time he disappeared for about 5 years, so we'll see.
And it's funny to see comments on the special where I can tell if it's a negative comment about the special, I can tell you who they're a fan of.
Oh, really? Because it can't be someone that just didn't like it. That's impossible. Listen to this baby. This is where the character should remain on stage. You know what I mean? Like the character that he's doing, the arrogant, looking down his nose guy, keep that on stage. Because as a podcaster, then it sounds like you're serious and you're just bitching.
Based on the negative comment. Like there are certain things where like, oh, he throws comics under the bus. That's Legion of Skanks. He pulls the ladder up. He got famous and edgy comedy. Now he's pulling up the ladder after him.
The Legion of Skanks literally did a hilarious bit about how funny Anthony is. They were playing clips of Anthony and the crowd was laughing. They're like, he's too funny. We can't criticize him for this. And then he's like, oh, these fucking Legion of Skanks fans. The whole joke was that the fans found him funny. Funnier than the show. Like, that was the bit they were doing. And he's just such a pretentious asshole that he looks down at these people without, like, really knowing who they're. Like, if Anthony showed up at Skankfest, he would get a fucking standing ovation.
Of course.
He'd be beloved. And yet he's like, oh, yeah, these people that don't get comedy, they're not cerebral enough to get the crib death joke I did. It's like, Anthony, your material is not that highbrow. It's very funny. Like, he has a gender reveal joke that I think is brilliant. It's hilarious. But it's not like this, who could understand that? You know what I mean? Like, it's only people with PhDs that could understand Anthony Jeselnik.
Sam Tripoli fans. Rogan fans.
Why? Explain that I don't even know who Sam Tripoli is.
He's a comic friend of mine. He was a guy. When I did that thing with Theo Vaughn, where I was like, "You've got to be funny." Like, it's not just you're if no one's laughing, you're just a troll.
Right.
People took that as me pulling up the ladder behind me. And then when they say that, it's so funny because it's such a weird turn of phrase.
Well, this is a real straw man argument you're having with no one. Who's saying that? Someone on Twitter? Like, now who's letting the comments get to him? Like, someone used this phrase, pulling up the ladder behind him. I've never said that about Anthony Jeselnik. And I've talked about him for 4 weeks straight now. Like, this weird thing where Anthony's of all people, the character that Anthony Jeselnik plays is letting, like, comments get to him, and he's analyzing them now. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's got to get out of the comment section. He was talking about how, like, oh, these are the same fans. So he's like thinking as his fans would think.
Right.
Like, you gotta,
these must be Legion of Skanks fans.
Yeah, no, dude, just grab your
pen. The Legion of Skanks fans liked you jackass.
Yes. He's good at writing jokes. Do that. Stop everything else.
Pulling up the ladder. Yeah. Let me tell you guys something. Little inside baseball. There is no ladder. I can fucking fly.
Wow. Cool, man.
And the Rogan comments are funny. They're like, I used to think he was really funny, but I don't know. This one. Or if they say I turned it off after 10 minutes, that's my favorite because I know you're lying. The first 10 minutes is the best 10 minutes of the special. There's no way you turned it off for 10 minutes.
I gotta say, like, I liked it, and I like just like, it's possible that someone would be like, I didn't really like this. Like, Anthony has a formula that can kind of wear on you. And I even noticed in the special that I enjoyed. You're kind of like, every joke is the same in the sense that, like, oh, where's he going with this? Not where I expected. I didn't realize the punchline would be that the baby's dead, you know? So it is, like, I do understand. If I don't agree with it, but if a comment is like, yeah, I turned it off after 10 minutes, he's like, well, that's a Rogan fan lying.
Yes.
No, it's just an asshole on the internet that feels like their opinion is important. Like everyone. If there will be comments on this video of people that think their opinion is more. None of you guys listening right now, you're all terrific.
No.
But someone will eventually leave a comment somewhere on my page where it's like, nah, I didn't even like it. Okay, that's fine. Thanks for watching for the time you did. It's very nice of you.
Yeah, Anthony, let's trade comment sections. Oh my God, would you want mine? It doesn't even talk about, like, your show. It just says you should disappear.
What do you think? Have you seen the Legion of Skanks fans' comments on the Legion of Skanks? It's crazy. The idea that he's analyzing this, like, oh, that must be some butthurt Rogan fan. He started this by saying, like, the Rogan fans were the ones who liked the joke. And then he's like, and all these negative comments from Rogan fans. I turned it off after 10 minutes. Like, It's not them, man. It's just assholes on the internet. Who cares?
Yeah, this is jelly. He jelly.
That I know they're lying. That's been very funny to see. But people loved the Kimmel. People loved the press. All the reviews have been great. I'm happy.
That's what people loved. People loved seeing you on Jimmy Kimmel.
People love the Kimmel.
That's a weird mentality to be like, I'm going against the establishment. These Rogan guys are becoming the establishment. Like they're what's in, and I'm out on the fringes, so I'm what's cool. Me and Jimmy Kimmel. Like, there's no one more establishment than fucking Jimmy Kimmel. He changed his whole being to be on the inside of Hollywood. He hosts Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You don't think that guy's on the in? And he's like, yeah, people out on the fringes, like me and Kimmel.
What? Have you seen his blackface Karl Malone? Oh my God, Kimmel! He's
that was good stuff. Yeah,
it was cutting edge. No super chat. So do you want to go straight into Schulz?
Yes, please.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, so this Andrew Schulz thing has gotten even bigger and crazier with Kendrick Lamar. To Kendrick Lamar's credit, he's doing none of this. It doesn't seem. But Andrew Schulz has gotten... Here's what's interesting. I have an opinion on this. There's someone with a lot of money, apparently, is offering people $250 to go protest outside Andrew Schultz's show. Like, some Kendrick Lamar fan. Like, you're going to hear Andrew basically compare him to Taylor Swift fans, which is true. Like, if you criticize Taylor Swift online, there's a swarm of people that'll attack you. I guess Kendrick has the same thing. Here's my conspiracy. I think there's a chance Andrew Schulz is orchestrating some of this.
Okay.
Because I think it's very good for Andrew.
Yes.
Some of it, obviously, he's not. Some people are just fucking maniacs on the internet. But, like, the idea that someone is paying protesters $250, I hear that and I'm like, could that be Andrew Schulz?
It could.
Who else would it benefit?
Well, a side note here, Kendrick has mentioned, or his team has mentioned in the past, that they would buy out a Drake show. So essentially spend, millions of dollars so that Drake performs to an empty audience. And so they are petty and they will spend the money.
I got to tell you a little snafu in that plan. I think if it was actually empty, Drake probably wouldn't perform.
He's not going to perform. Yeah.
He would accept your money. And then...
But that's the sort of stuff they do over there in the hip hop game to sort of like get a one up, on the other. So I could definitely see Andrew falling into some of the same games.
I'm just saying it's worked. The only reason I think that, and I don't really think he's doing it, but the only reason I came to that possibility is like Andrew has really used cancel culture to his benefit a lot. Like Amazon, he bought his special back from Amazon because they wanted to cut a joke. The venue that canceled Andrew because he had Trump on. Like they canceled his special taping after he had Trump on. So these things keep happening to Andrew specifically, where it's like, I'm not even blaming him. I think it's actually genius to use all this stuff for marketing, It
is only satire beats everything. It's you can have the greatest art form ever, and then a guy just goes, "Hey, your shoe's untied," and it destroys the whole art form.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Now, if it comes out that he is paying people to do this, it is weird. But like you said, it sounds like something Kendrick's people would do.
Oh, this is just part of the game. It's part of the culture, as they say. It's called Kendrick fans.
Oh yeah, so this is Andrew talking about the backlash that he got from some of these fucking maniacs.
Anyway, there's this clip that they're going around trying to say that I'm like being a victim now. Do you have the shit? They can play that shit.
I've been posting shit like telling me they're gonna.
This is from Brilliant Idiots, the podcast he does with Charlemagne. It's a clip.
Take out my.
That's a good podcast.
Family on like pictures of my child, my daughter. God. You surprised by this? This is the nature of the game.
Yeah, social media.
Yeah, social media. It's like, but he says that line. He says that line.
I've always said this about Andrew. He has a good attitude about this stuff. Like when he gets backlash for shit, he has the absolute right. If you hate Andrew or don't think he's funny, whatever, he's always had the right mentality about this stuff that I appreciate.
Yeah, it seems to be double down. Andrew double down. You just keep doubling down until they leave you alone.
Yeah.
So Andrew Schulz says multiple Kendrick Lamar fans have threatened to kill his family over sexual assault joke.
Oh, so we didn't play. Yeah. I should add some context. We didn't play this clip last week when we talked about the Schulz Kendrick stuff, just because I thought it was like a whatever joke. but Andrew said like he could do whatever he wanted to. I didn't realize Kendrick's only like 5'2".
He's tiny.
He's a very tiny man. So
Yes.
Andrew said like, yeah, come at me. He goes, I would make love to him. I could do whatever I wanted to him. So
Yes.
people took that and said like, oh, Andrew's threatening to rape Kendrick. And it's again like, you guys are fans of rap and you're being this sensitive. It feels like Trump people. Like Trump people are all anti-cancel culture and this woke bullshit. And then if you make up a joke about Trump, they're like, hey, that's our president you're talking about, pal.
Yeah.
It's like, but no, remember all the stuff you said about joking before? I agree with you. We should joke about everyone and everything. It feels like that, where Kendrick is from this world of rap where they do nothing but talk about fucking, denigrating women and all this shit. And for some reason, Kendrick took exception with Andrew Schulz.
Yeah, like the over masculinity of hip hop is still like the main export of its culture, for sure.
Sure. And I don't give a fuck, but you can't then get mad when someone else does it.
No.
Yeah, that last 6 words or whatever.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So what people don't know is that this was recorded before I ever said anything to Kendrick. This, the outfit is the same outfit as Flagrant. We did the podcast the same
They
day.
were released out of order, but he recorded with Charlemagne before he recorded that Flagrant podcast, and people were like, he's using it for sympathy. And Andrew was like, actually, I didn't even know it happened yet. So...
Right? So I haven't said anything to Kendrick. This is the timeline. Kendrick drops the bar in the song, right? He says, don't talk about black women, that's law, to white comedian. Then he tells people to slide on the black dudes close to him. Alex and Charlemagne is what I interpreted. So basically kill his black friends.
What he's saying there is like, any black people that associate with this guy are garbage, basically. And credit to this guy, Alex. I forget his last name even. I don't know him. He's a guy who's regularly on this podcast. He's one of Schultz's crew there, one of the Laughing Boys. And obviously Charlemagne he co-hosts a podcast with. I say good on them for like standing by him. Like you'll hear this Alex guy comment in a second, and they didn't bury Andrew. They didn't sell him out. So often do you hear like, while I have worked many years with Andrew, I don't condone because they're worried about their own shit, So I credit these guys for being loyal to him.
Yeah, I've followed that part on Twitter actually, and the black dude on this panel just is getting roasted by the culture.
Really? Well, good for him for not caving to that. Because again, like a lot of people see that and they're like, while I love Andrew like a brother, sometimes you disagree with your brothers, like horse shit like that,
Well, you remember those two guys that weren't they on this show that then had to go apologize because they were on this show?
Yeah, the shits and gigs. That's how this all started.
Yeah. That was amazing. Full circle. We've got.
Yeah.
Right? So death threats to them, death threats to me.
And I was getting death.
Of course, death threats to me. Death threats to me, death threats to my family, telling
the word house is used a lot with that guy online. I'm just, house something else. But
yeah.
They're gonna kill my daughter, posting on my daughter's
We
picture.
still haven't posted an app.
We haven't talked. I don't talk about it for 2 weeks. Right? I go, okay, you saying death threats to all of us? You gonna talk shit about my daughter? Okay, it's up. I'm gonna fuck your man.
He does talk like a rapper. He speaks in the intonation of a rapper.
Yeah, there's another word that starts with a W that is used a lot for Andrew. Well, like, he grew up in New York. I think that's how he really talks. I don't think he's putting it on. But like I said, it's amazing. And to Kendrick's credit, it's his fans mostly, not necessarily him. But like, it is amazing to me that Andrew's handling this so much better than the rap community. It's so crazy.
There is a bet in Vegas right now that you can make. I saw this online. Will this guy, Andrew Schulz, end up on a album of Drake? Will Drake have Andrew do a bar?
We talked about it. Craig said that last week. It's not impossible.
It's plus 200 right now.
Now,
so they don't.
The only thing is, I don't know enough about the beef. Would Drake want to bring that onto himself? You know
Drake
what I mean?
Don't care. Drake.
He doesn't.
Drake
Okay.
No. But Drake's move is to use something that he's already said and sample it, not have him come on and like say something original. So my guess is that he'll just sample one of these things and just use it.
Okay.
But yes, continue the beef because they're both making shit tons of money on the beef. Beef works. Drama sells, baby.
Right? Because if we saying anything, it's like, let's have some fun.
All right, the victim.
Yeah, so like people are saying like Andrew's making himself the victim. I think he's handled it perfectly, like the way he should handle it. He's made the most out of it. He's gotten views for his podcast and everything, and he's been talked about for 2 weeks among people that probably didn't even know who he was before, you know? So I think Andrew's played it perfectly.
Yeah, he built an audience.
And he's not making himself the victim, by the way. Like he mentions like people are threatening my he's not like, guys, I've had something horrible happen to me. People have he mentions that he's getting death threats, but I think he knows they're not real death threats. It's nothing you're like scared of. It's just a mentally ill person on the internet, you know?
Just think of the juxtaposition of what we've just gone through, the whiplash here. This guy's getting death threats by people with guns, and he's like, nah, it's okay. The other guy had a potato come in the screen. Is like, call the FBI as fast as possible.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's a good point.
How are they both human?
And no matter, like I said they're not real death threats, but it is jarring when you have an influx of people like saying shit like that to you.
Yes.
Where John has a potato going, ooh, hello, John. And John's calling the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
So you say the shit, you say kill my friends, and then all of your fans come out, not all of them, but fans come out, they give death threats to all of us, they talking shit about my 10-month-old daughter, right, saying they're gonna kill her, and then I go, I'm gonna make sweet love to Kendrick, and now all of a sudden all the fans are like, how could you do that? Oh, you're taking it too far. Jokes are not funny. Yeah, we should murder your family and everything like that, and that's totally fine, but oh my God, they're like clutching their fucking pearls, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, how did you become the victim again? He really is the Taylor Swift.
It is. It's funny that a male rapper has that type of fan base. Like, listen, I get it if you mess with the Beehive or the Swifties. These ladies are very emotional, you know? They don't always go about it the best way. But these are men, God damn it. These are fans of rap. And like, I don't know a ton about Kendrick, but like he's a very cerebral guy, right? Like he's a very thoughtful.
Oh, yes.
He has a lot of like very deep lyrics and stuff. Yeah.
He's a lyricist, yeah.
So like these are fans of like an intellectual artist, and they're like, "Oh, don't fucking kill you."
Yeah. Yes. Don't keep going down that scale. The fans get crazier and crazier for sure.
So one of my exes, she has been turning 29 for the last 5 years.
Oh yeah, they've been trying. Their next resource was to call Andrew a pedophile.
Oh no!
by fudging some of the numbers of an ex-girl. Andrew had an incident a couple of years ago now, I think, where some girl came out and like basically tried to cancel him with all this stuff that she did, that he did during their relationship. And it was like, if it's true, he's a dick. But it's one of those things like the Jonah Hill thing where it's like, well, we shouldn't even know this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this is like, so he was a bad boyfriend? Like, who gives a fuck? You know, it's not our business.
We've all been there.
Sure.
Turning 29 for the last 5 years. I don't know if it's because, you know, Hollywood isn't great to people that are trying to make it and they're in their 30s or whatever. But they looked at the ages and they're like, oh, she's 29 years old still. And they're like, oh, she must have been 16 when they're dating. I go, 16? I was on 5 shows on MTV when we were dating. How the fuck am I in a public relationship with a 16-year-old? I go, look, there's her on X Factor saying she's 23. And I'm like, wait a minute, this girl's lying about her age. They believed the lie. Now they're posting it trying to turn me into a pedophile. So the Kendrick fans are just going.
That's great.
Yeah. Racist.
Hey, I'm starting to think Drake's not even a pedophile. What's real with these people?
Two things they
and
do.
mind you, she is black, so they're calling you a racist, and your ex-girlfriend was a black girl.
I'm a racist and I'm a pedophile.
Clip it.
I'm a racist and I'm a pedophile. Yeah.
That's good for Andrew to put out there.
Yeah. Not tough at all. Fuck that shit. That shit was fun.
That's what I love about the way Andrew has handled all this. He's like, he talks about it honestly, and then he's like, but I'm having fun with it. Like, I don't really go. Like, it's ultimately good for me. He's not playing the victim at all. I think he's played it exactly right. And this, I've found Andrew's stand-up like funny. Not like I love it or anything, but it's like good. It's like whatever. There are people that hate him for some reason. And it's this thing where it's like, do you hate him or do you hate how famous he is? You know? Like, does he really bother you? Because to me, he handles all this shit very well. He figured something out. Like, he's the guy that kind of figured out YouTube and marketing yourself on social media and showed other comics how to do it. He's been very good to other comics in that way. And, like, I can't really find the thing to criticize him about it. I think he has the perfect attitude about this stuff.
And I think also that he hit on something if he wants to pull that string. Because when he did the thing where he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna make love to Kendrick," like the fear of homosexuality in the hip hop community is palpable. Why? Yeah. Just look as far as P. Diddy, right? Like,
right.
There are a bunch of closeted homosexuals that are also gangster rappers. So when you start rustling that bush, they get scared. They get nervous. And so my advice is, Andrew, jump in that bush. Start shaking that bush around. Because that's what's going to freak them out. They can't handle satire when it comes to shit like that. They don't have it in them. And it might evolve the product. It might evolve hip-hop. You never know.
For sure. And I don't think my final guess is Andrew will not be on a Drake song because I feel like it's too expected now, you know?
Well, yeah, you're probably right on that one. But he's definitely going to sample him. So that will happen, that he gets sampled, but he's not.
Maybe he uses that line. I'm a racist and a pedophile.
Perfect. We got it for you, Drake. We got one super chat here for you, Mike, and then we'll get in.
All right.
To a little toe. And no, I'm just going to preface this by saying, stop this. Don't do this, people. Don't do this.
All right. Okay. All right.
It says, Icon Buckets, $2. Hilarious backdrop of Mike falling downstairs, Casey. That is not happening. Don't try to convince Mike that things are happening on the
Wait a second.
No, it's not happening. I've been very good today. I mean, my trophies. Nice try, Icon Buckets.
I appreciate that. And one more reminder to go to j37shop.com for your last-minute Christmas shopping here. Visit our friends, j37shop.com. You know why I mentioned that? Because at j37shop.com, they're just trying to hit a goal. And if you use promo code BlindMike, you'll save 15% and help them hit their goal. The one guy who's really revolutionizing goals is Aaron Imholt. Now, I had interaction with Aaron this week. Did you see that on Twitter?
I did actually have it. Let me find it. I'll pull it up.
That's
not it.
Someone tweeted at him using my name. I don't remember the context. Now, for a little backstory, I'm not saying Aaron should know me. We interacted a little bit a couple years ago. Like I said, I told him his Kumia interview was good. And when I was trying to get on other shows, I was like, hey, do you think I could come on sometime? And I think he didn't have any interest, which I'm so glad now. That worked out for me. But the last correspondence we had was he said that Who Are These Socials was a nice addition to the Who Are These universe.
Oh, so
and I just said thanks. That's a weird thing to say to someone you don't know.
Yes, I got the thing here from Twitter.
Again, we haven't interacted enough. I believe that he could forget that, but to have this is very funny.
What is a blind Mike from Steel Toe Morning Show?
It's a guy named Mike, Aaron. It's pretty. Don't strain yourself thinking about that too much. It's a guy who got that tweet noticed. I think it had 1 like before I quote tweeted it. So.
Yeah, that's he patted himself on the back for that one. You can hear it from here.
What's a blind Mike? See, that shows that I don't even know if it's a human being or not. I think it's an object. That's very smart, Aaron. Well, I'm about to expose another thing this jackass has done. And the goal keeps evolving and keeps getting new. Every time I think Aaron's out of ideas, he brings another great one to the table. So we didn't talk about Steel Toe. Well, we did talk about him, I guess. But we didn't talk about new Steel Toe last week. We talked about his stuff with DSP, which we're going to get to. We have some more of that. So stay tuned. Yes. But we start with Aaron's new wrinkle to the goal that we missed last week.
Yes, not a distraction. Not a distraction.
Oh, no, definitely not. It's not going to take away from the show at all.
No.
Is the word he went through. Informal. Sorry about the notes, guys. I'm keeping track of the donations, and we're getting our scoreboard set for the week. Informal. Oh, informal was 2. 383.
This is hilarious.
Oh, no, I'll explain what he's doing in a minute.
Yes, just pay attention.
7. And 383 is 2. 1 is $1. Okay, there we go. There we go. So Michael is in first place with $20. Chris is in second with 15. Mussolini Diff is in third with 10, and Informal Warfare is in fourth with 7.
So you may have figured out. You may,
295
you may have figured out what he is now doing is taking extra thorough notes on the goal because he has to keep up the leaderboard.
Leaderboard.
So, guys, think of this. You can now not only give to Steel Toe and help keep the lights on there at Steel Toe Inc., but you can also have your name read as one of the top 4 donors of the day. Isn't that exciting? What's the benefit, you're probably asking yourself? I just gave it to you. If you're looking for more, you're an idiot because there is nothing else.
It's got the stakes of an Anthony Jeselnik joke. It's none.
It's imaginary. Yeah.
Yes.
Is today's number. We are under 300 here in the 7 o'clock hour. Let's go on a big rally, boys and girls.
Yeah, come on.
And let's get this number down to 200 by
Guys,
8 o'clock.
Don't you want to be at the top of the
appreciate it.
leaderboard? Don't you want to have something? I've heard like architects talk like this, where like it's pretty cool that I could drive by a building and be like, I did that. Like that was me. You guys have a chance right now to watch Steel Toe. And when he reads out the leaderboard, you can go, honey, get in here. You can run in like one of John's teachers.
Grab the kids.
Get in here. I'm keeping the lights on at Steel Toe. I'm keeping Johnny Crutches fed. I've finally done something on this earth.
What does it say about Aaron that he thinks this has value, right? He's like, oh, if I was listed on the top of a donating, this would give me value. He really has a perverse sense of what is a value in life.
It thinks they're like, oh man, because people need Steel Toe. They're like, put it in my veins, baby. I need Steel Toe every morning on my way to work. That's why he still does it as a morning show. That's why he does it as early as he does. Because, the regular Joe just going out, grabbing his thermos of coffee for the morning and heading off to the job site. He's got Steel Toe playing, and that gets him through the day, keeps him from offing himself,
Yes.
And so what that guy could think is like, hey, if I donate $50 here, I can be known as one of the trailblazers that helped keep this show on, one of the forefathers of Steel Toe.
Yeah, so what we're seeing here is the future scenes, and we're going to see some past scenes coming up, so that's what the art is.
Okay, good.
Guys, rally up 5 or 10 at a time. Let's get down to 200 by 8 o'clock. Let's have a good start to the week.
Yeah. Guys, you don't want a miserable start to your week, do you? Aaron didn't hit his goal today. We can only go down from here.
I appreciate it. Last week was unbelievable, and I
It really was,
hope we
remember?
keep that.
Yeah, you know how everyone's talking about it? Even if you miss Steel Toe, everyone's like, oh my God, it was unfathomable what Aaron was able to pull off. He got people to super chat him enough money to do his show next week. Isn't that exciting?
Amazing.
Not just exciting, unbelievable. You can't believe
It is real. It is unbelievable. I got to be honest.
That's fair.
Who are these fucking people?
Right now, the standings look like this. Michael in first place with $20.
Me?
Chris
Hey, he
is-
said my name.
Mike.
He said my name, guys. Now I know what the feeling. We were mocking it, but now I know I can imagine what it feels like to be the top of that leaderboard.
Yes, he does know what a blind Mike is. You know what a blind Mike is. He's the leader at the top of the leaderboard.
second place with $15. Mussolini Diff in third with $10. And Informal Warfare and Tritio both tied.
Now, how is this going to work? I was wondering this. So, is Aaron even writing down? Is Aaron writing down every person that gives him $2? Because that
He
could be
must
a
have
long
some
list, no?
It's some sort of system he has here.
And then, so he's writing down. Let's say he's writing down $10. When the person gives another 20 on Thursday, does he cross out the 10? This is going to be a disastrous note system.
He's got we need a spreadsheet. You get someone.
Yeah, I need to see this.
I need an XLS right now. Stat.
With $7. Those are our top 4. Technically top 5 for today. Bust in.
I got to tell you, Mike, the worst feeling is getting number 4. You don't even get the bronze that day. You gave some money and you don't even get on the stand.
I don't like that son of a bitch because there was a tie. I don't like that son of a bitch snuck in the fifth person, He doesn't deserve credit. He hasn't given enough.
I'm making this now. I am telling you this will happen. He is going to institute a win by 2 policy because someone's going to come in with $1 and snake the top spot, and then the second place person is going to complain, and he's going to be like, "All right, well, we got a $2. Got to win by 2." He's going to do it.
Wait, it's funny you say that because you know what? Remind me of that when we get to the end because we're not far off from that.
Okay, now we're going to the past, though, Mike. We're gonna head down to the past.
This is very spooky. Aaron's going to talk to himself from years ago. Aaron, don't become this.
Aaron, it's about dignity. Dignity. Say it with me.
So we're gonna crank the DeLorean to 88 here, and we're gonna go back in time to see what Aaron would have said to himself, circa 2020 or whenever this was.
Yeah, that's about that time.
You notice when we miss goals, you know, we go down swinging. We're like, hey, guys, this far away. What do you say? Last 5 minutes of the show. Let's play some music, have some fun, see if we can knock it out and give you an extra 30. Okay, so we do that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see us going, guys, please, what are we going to do?
Oh, no? Oh, no? No, you see a madman rummaging through notes saying, all right, Mussolini diff gave $15.
Unbelievable.
Look, like I told somebody else in our comment section today, they're like, well, what do you do when you fall short of your money? I go, well, we ask, and then if we don't get it, we take the L, and we move on to the next show.
You hope you do better next time.
It's great. It's so great. I can't believe he's saying that. Knowing I have the benefit of foresight, ironically, where I know where this set of clips ends. And it's hilarious that it's like, yeah, we just move on. We take our loss. No big deal, you know?
Yeah, no, we take the L. My wife takes the D from a lawyer. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
No
We
problem.
take things.
It is funny to see any clip with April where they're like, it's just funny to hear them talk to each other, knowing what happened.
Got a DSP video today, Dark Side Phil Gaming.
Okay.
And I tell you, every time I watch this guy, 2 things happen. One, I'm very glad how we handle asking our fans to support our show. And 2, I realize how bad it can get if you abandon all dignity.
All right, now let's go back to the present and see how bad it can get when you abandon all dignity. Aaron, take it away.
Called guilt trip.
Yes, but now hold on. Remember a minute ago, or 4 years ago, when Aaron was like, "Guys, don't beg your fucking audience. Like, don't make them feel bad for not donating, right? Like that would be selfish, and frankly, like it's a bad look. Like, you don't have any dignity or pride if you're doing stuff like that. All right, Aaron from Monday, take it away."
Yeah, the wife really hit the wall here, by the way.
Make sure you spend every dime. You can't have any reserves, which, by the way, I should reorganize Steel Toe into a 501c3 because I haven't seen black ink at the end of the year here since about 2022. So I'm going to go.
Since I was making fun of Dark Side Phil.
Literally the day after I did that.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Steel Toe's a nonprofit, but we're a nonprofit accidentally.
So don't you feel bad for us? Huh? Don't you feel like you'd want to be on that leaderboard now? That I'm saying we're not making money. Isn't that sad?
2025 to be financially gird.
No, I've been getting financially gird for quite some time. Which reminds me, we have made a whopping $25 so far today.
Wow.
Wait, that's not true because we had 2 at the beginning of or before the show started. We made a whopping $60.
All this diligent note taking isn't really paying off. He never knows how much he's made.
Yeah, he just conveniently forgets about the 35 donated at the beginning of the show too.
Listen to him guilting everyone, and also take note of how long these little segments are that we've put together here, where it's like Aaron telling Darkside Phil, like, don't waste your time on your show guilting your audience. He spends 5 minutes being like, oh man, we're in the red here, guys. I don't know. I guess maybe I'll shut the cameras off. I don't know. Maybe I'll just get a job and leave you guys. Oh, good. Mussolini Diff is back.
Supposed to run a charity here, people? Come on. I mean, I will. I'll turn it into a 501c. Do I have to? Can I make money doing that? Please tell me what to do.
In 2 hours today. When I got up at 12:10 and I woke up at 4 in the morning. I woke up twice. And,
the goal.
I went back to bed each time. And the 4 in the morning one, I was like, should I take this morning off and just rest?
No.
And so far,
you can't,
$60 in 2 hours.
I'm haunting your dreams now.
Yay, we got some fucking... I didn't know that was
Maybe
coming
that
out.
would have been the way to go. Yeah, Deutsch Chad says another win for the toe. No! If there's one thing the toe's been very honest about, it's that, again, money's tight. And that we hit these goals, we can stay afloat. When we don't hit these goals, we worry.
Remember the other guy? Remember the other guy a minute ago talking about dignity?
Hold on. I'm rubbing my eyes. Phil? Is that you? Phil, what are you doing here?
I swear I heard the same guy talking about saving some dignity.
Away from today. The reason you guys think it's another win for the toe is because of the power of positivity. Is because we smile about our goals now.
We smile through our tears. I like
We
that when
fake
someone's.
the shit
I like when someone's grifting you and telling you about it. Like, no. The ruse is that we pretend to be positive while we're melting down on the inside, and that'll inspire you to donate more.
Catch more flies with honey. You know what they say.
It's like if Tony Robbins was like, none of this is very insightful, but it's what people need to hear, and I take advantage of people in desperate situations. And he's saying this to, the crowd at the Wilbur Theater.
The forum.
Yeah. And they're like, all right, Tony, here's more money.
All right, it's rally time, Mike. It's rally time.
Oh, you know what? He said they've only made, $60 so far? I think we could use a rally.
Yeah, it's rally.
Dive Bar says $15 an hour a piece. Minimum wage ain't so bad, dog. Well, all I know is we're supposed to be at 200 by 8 o'clock, and we're 4 minutes away from 8 o'clock, and we're at 290.
Hold on. I get very hung up on Aaron's language. We're supposed to be at 200 by a certain... Like, you guys are supposed to do this. What's wrong with you? And by the way, I'll tell you something the leaderboard really exposes. Like, today it's not as bad because it's on Monday. I listened to a show later in the week where it's like the leader has like a couple $100. And it's like, oh, you forget. Aaron's expecting certain people to pay him multiple hundreds every single week. That's like crazy. It's like a bill is due and the subscription service costs $100. It's $100 a week. It's crazy.
Where can we find some of these whales, Mike? We need a few.
I notice I keep saying it's crazy today, but that's how shocking these idiots are to me. The depth of the well is what's really amazing.
So let's
Getting
see.
a little tight.
Let's see if we can rally up a little today, boys and girls.
Rally, baby. Front
Front Porch Conservatives, the man. He says for the rally. That also, I think, that puts Front Porch in the top 4 today.
Front Porch, by God, you've done it. You've cracked the top 4. The what some thought was impenetrable top 4.
Front Porch by nose.
Front Porch with that 10.
And down the stretch they come.
It is. It's a race.
Here comes Aaron's forehead. He's trailing by 6 lengths.
And remember, folks, you got to win by 2, so make sure you put in an extra $1 because you can't win by 1. It's coming. I'm telling you.
Michael at 20, Chris at 15, Mussolini, Diff, and Front Porch tied for a third at $10. And then Tridio is in 4th.
Oh, wow. Tridio
at 9. Thank you very much, Front Porch Conservative. I appreciate that. That puts us at 280 for today.
Wow.
I mean, there's no rule about continuing on, and all of you throwing in $10. Boy, if everybody matched Front Porch Conservative, we'd be done with this thing in no time. Thank you guys very much. Hit like and hit subscribe as well.
Hey, gang, there's no rule. Donate whatever you want. I also think Aaron has definitely listened to me.
Of course,
because he's making fun of himself for some of the things that I specifically make fun of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a couple things I mentioned that I would say not everyone focuses on with Aaron, and he's mentioning those lately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like shit like that, where like the little throwaway things he says that we talk about here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe other people pick up on it, but like I'm noticing him making fun of me, making fun of him. If that makes sense.
Yep. We have a saying. It's called rent free, Mike. You're living up there rent free. He's like, no, he's going to say this. No, I got to say it first. Okay, I'm going to say it first.
Well, people have said that the cycle is like the responses to that tweet from him were now he's going to say that people were just sending him links of you and that's why he's talking about you. Like there's a pattern that goes on with Aaron where first he has no idea who you are. He's like, who even is this guy? And then he's like, I'm just talking about him because people keep sending me his link, but I don't even know who this guy is. And then he's just full on like, fuck this guy, you know?
Yeah, we all know this guy. We always known this guy. We always hated this guy. It
Right.
goes from never knowing to we all hated this guy.
It's the free shit you can do. We appreciate that. This show does run on your donations. We'll do an extra 30 minutes of overtime today if we knock out that last $280. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's rally up. It's that time of day again.
He even had a gulp. That last 300 left. Jesus Christ.
Humana.
No one's buying my bullshit today.
My God, there's a tsunami crashing down on Aaron. $280. Oh no.
Let's see if we can turn around our fortunes.
All right, we're back to the past.
All right, so now we're going to hear from a very wise man named Aaron Imholt. And he's going to tell us exactly how to handle donations on a show.
Yes, asking versus pleading.
Yeah, so this is and I like to think that I've walked this line pretty well, where like we run on subscriptions and everything. That's where we make most of our money. But like, if you don't like the content, it's not up to you to give me a living. You know, it's not up to the listeners to make sure I do a show that's sustainable. It's up to me. And if you guys don't pay, I have to figure something else out. So I think I've done a pretty good job of walking that line. Let's hear Aaron's explanation to Darkside Phil back in the day.
See, there's asking and there's pleading. You know, we'll go, hey, guys, we're this far away from the goal. Chip in. That would help a ton. That's asking.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Pleading is what he does. It's one thing to stop for 4 minutes in the middle of a live stream and plead. That's bad. In my opinion, it's a total other thing to make a 4-minute video and upload it, which is simply pleading.
We've already played 4 minutes of Aaron begging. We've already done it, and we're not even a quarter of the way through his show.
There is a man whose whole clip cutting thing depends on just him doing goal shit.
Real Media Player has hour-long videos of Aaron one day asking for a goal.
He just described Real Media Player. This guy uploading clips asking for a goal. Yes, and that guy is you, and you don't make $1 off of it. Amazing.
Pay for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, long list.
Now let's go back to the so we just heard Aaron like kind of, shoot us straight about the way to go. And he's like, hey, listen, even if you beg during your show, like that's pretty pathetic. Now let's go to what he's doing in 2024 again, shall we?
Yes.
And Chris O has taken over first place with $40. He says, here, take my hard-earned money. Well, now this is where Aaron's guilt is supposed to kick in. I'm just glad that we've got a fighting chance at our goal today. Thank you, Chris O.
Chris, one of the real heroes out there. It's impressive.
Here's where I'm supposed to feel guilty because deep down I know this is all a ruse and I'm just flim-flamming y'all.
Yeah.
But hey,
this is where a human being would feel want to grab his pride back. But.
What an admission! Jesus Christ.
Chris, by the way, making it. He is now in first place at $40. Gray Duckling is in second at $25. Trucker Mussolini Diff and Front Porch Conservative. Or no.
Oh, man.
So Chris D with 40, Gray Duckling with 25.
You know what, Aaron? You're right. This isn't getting in the way of your show at all. Jesus. Go back. I have to hear this again. It's consuming this guy. It's all he's focused on is this leaderboard, and he has no grasp on it. Listen, by the way, this is like the leaderboard at the fucking Masters. You list off like 15 names.
With a guy who's doing the leaderboard for the first time at the Masters. Who's in Woods? No, okay. No, these numbers keep changing.
Shouldn't this be Johnny's job?
It could be.
You know what I mean? Like Johnny doesn't talk during the show.
No, and he can write. I think his arms work, just not his legs. So yes.
Yeah, this should be the host of the show. Shouldn't be constantly just have like he's like John Nash in A Beautiful Mind.
But Mike, Johnny can't lie and keep a lie going about how much he's got or didn't get. So if $10 comes in, Johnny can't go, oh, only $2 come in. And so Aaron, he has to keep control to keep the lies.
Can you imagine if a clip finished and there was silence for a second and you were like, Mike, are you going to react to it? I'm like, oh, sorry, dang lizard. How do you convert euros? We'll just call it $2. All right, I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
At $25, Trucker Mussolini Diff and Front Porch Conservative. Or no. So Chris D with 40, Gray Duckling with 25, Michael with 20, and Chris with 15.
Michael has fallen behind.
Duckling is 4 horse lengths behind coming in on the back.
But how did Mussolini Diff's not even in the top 5? How did he sneak his way in there for a minute?
That's what happens. You take a break, and these other bastards come in and outbid you, and then all of a sudden you've won nothing. And you look at the top guy, and he's also won nothing. So
it's the tortoise and the hare. It's an adage as old as time.
He's not even giving away Stony gift cards for this. It's that meaningless to him.
That's a good point. At least give something, even if it's worthless.
It's not even worth my worthless cards.
Those are your top 4 here on Steel Toe so far this week. Others on the outside looking in, Front Porch Conservative with 10, Mussolini Diff with 10.
On the out, like they're tapping on the glass. Oh, it looks so fun up there at the top. I know I keep using Mussolini Diff, but he's my favorite name. Mussolini Diff trying to get into the club. And they're like, sorry, man, it's exclusive.
He does the outside looking in. So he's like, outside looking in, Bama, Alabama, you're not in the CFP. You want to be in the CFP? Just pony up a few more and get ahead of Hamhead here, and you'll get in the CFP. Jesus Christ.
Looks like Tridio with 9, Informal Warfare at 7, Trucker 18-wheeler at 6.
These guys were such legends. They were at the top for so long, and they lost it. Informal, whatever the fuck his name is. He was up there with the big dogs, and now look at him. On the outside looking in.
I imagine like a small potato guy, just a blue-collar guy, gets together money, cobbles enough money together from his wife's cancer fund and donates, and he gets 5th place. And he's like, well, I've got to print that out and put it on the refrigerator. And he looks at it every morning as an accomplishment.
I know, I'm a guy that's dealt with anxiety and depression my entire life. And I know that if I was where Tridio was, where I was in the top 4, and then all of a sudden I'm on the outside looking in, I'd be like, God, I can't even do this right, you know? Like I thought this could be my thing, donating to Steel Toe, and it's just another fucking failure.
Yeah, chat, we have 8 minutes left of the clips, and we're going to start now. And who's going to win the Blind Mike Chatathon?
Hey, come on, guys. Who wants to be my favorite chatter? Isn't that something you want to put on your resume? Mikey's favorite of the week?
So we've got some spots open for sure. It also puts our goal
what do you mean?
At 2
spots open. Like, hey, we only allow 35 people a week to donate, but there's plenty of spots still available. Spots open. What a jackass. A true horse's ass this guy is.
Listen, there were some ladies here. They gave 4. We had to ask them to leave, so there's a couple seats open.
Yeah, no, places are clear. It's like when the hostess is like, it'll be about 35 minutes. I was like, how do they know that for sure? You know? Yeah. But he's been in this game long enough. He can estimate stuff like that.
For today, so we are back in the fight. Thank you very much. 215 away. Let's see if we can get that to 100 by 9 o'clock.
How about 0? I'll do you one better, Aaron. How about we get it to 0? What do you say?
215 to 100. Maybe a stair ladder in between, Aaron.
I always love when he's like, and guys, that's really doable. Yes, Aaron. It's not the GDP of a small nation. Of course, it's doable for a human being to give $100. It's just a lot to ask of them.
If a man thought of it, man can solve it.
No one said it's impossible. It's just incredibly selfish.
It's our moonshot, Mike. It's possible.
Aces over here on the toe. Keep that rally going.
Ooh. I love that. I love the finger work. He has good finger work. Limping to the finish line.
Oh yeah, so this is like, he's like, oh God, I just don't know. Like, are we gonna get there? This is the longer clip, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So this, I believe, we're getting to a goal, and it's amazing what we close with. Like him talking about Dark Side Phil is amazing, particularly because of how this clip ends.
Someone in chat makes a good point. Is he going to eventually take pledges to donate as part of this? So you could say, I'm going to donate 10. All right, well, he's going to say he's going to donate 10. We'll put that in his bank.
Future dollars.
Yes. And then, if you didn't donate, you're taxed. We tax you expedition. The Bank of Aaron has been born.
Aaron, I thought of a really fun idea. Why don't you guys all give me your bank account information? And I'll just take the amount of money I feel is appropriate. I'll look at what you have in there, and I'll say, well, he could probably afford $80, you know?
Introducing Toecoin.
Good luck to your legs. 120 away from today. Let's see if we can avoid an L today on Steel Toe. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, Venmo. We get inside of 50. We survive for another 30 minutes. We knock out the whole 120.
Survive. The language he uses, I'm obsessed with it. We survive for another 30 minutes. Whew. Oh, we crossed that fucking safari. We made it out alive.
I got to say, every time I end the show with you, Mike, I count my blessings. I'm still breathing.
Oh, thank
We're
God.
still here.
Yeah, we got through to another day.
We call it another win for the Toe. Let's see if we can do this thing. Right now, the standings look like this.
Oh, no.
While you...
Everyone get a pen.
This pen today. I just wrote on myself. Oh, goddamn. Everybody throw in a few bucks. If you want to throw in like 100, we're certainly not going to be upset with you. If you're worried about that, I know a lot of...
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. If you want to slip in... I mean, I guess if you want to be number one on the list, you'll donate a few bucks. But don't even worry about it.
Guys, I noticed the market's up, so donations. Come on. I know what you're making. Send them on over.
Sell your Bitcoin, folks.
People go like, I want to throw Aaron $100 right now. But you know what? I think he'd get mad at me.
He'd be disappointed.
This is what I'm talking about. Go back.
What a
This
psychology.
is what I'm talking about when I say I think he's listening to me.
Okay.
This is how I make fun of him.
Everybody,
I have a feeling he knows exactly who I am.
Yes. I call this the blind Mike.
A few bucks. If you want to throw in like 100, we're certainly not going to be upset with you. If you're worried about that, I know a lot of people go like, I want to throw Aaron $100 right now. But you know what? I think he'd get mad at me.
See what I mean?
Yes.
He's making fun of me, making fun of him. When it's like, no, Aaron, I'm pretty sure I'm right here. You can parody it all you want. I'm pretty comfortable with my side of the argument.
No, this defense has got to work. I thought this out all night.
He'd be disappointed.
I wouldn't. In
This is
matter
what
of
Aaron
fact,
does. I've noticed this now. This is what Aaron does. Like, he thinks if he makes fun of himself for something you're making fun of, he's taking the power away.
This is a John move too. Yeah.
And there's something to that, like the 8 Mile strategy, you know? But you can't then keep doing those things over and over again, you know? You can't make fun of that and be like, see, I'm self-aware. Anyways, back to the leaderboard.
Yes.
Where's Chris? Where's Chris O on today's leaderboard?
Yes.
thank you.
I think what you're saying is you can't be aware and then go back to the land of unawareness. You're either one or the other. Yeah,
exactly. If you're self-aware, we can all go, oh, look, Aaron's actually self-aware. Oh, wait, no, it's gone again. That doesn't work.
Starting now.
And if you don't believe him, do it and find out.
If you don't think your donations are big enough, brother, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll see that your donations are growing. And when they get big enough, I'll jizz.
That's almost as good as that Rob Saul improv. I hope Johnny interviews Aaron on that bit later. How did you get inside the mind of that character, Aaron?
So far, Flinty Gecko is in first with $50. Chris O.
Flinty Gecko is stealing the show. Now, that's a Cinderella story. Flinty Gecko came out of nowhere.
John's anal warts was up there, but then Gecko just came to the lead.
Flinty Gecko, you dastardly son of a gun. You stole it from everybody. Right out from Chris O's fingertip. Chris O could taste coming out of this day at the top of the leaderboard and Flinty Gecko stole it from him.
Chris O around the corner, but here comes Flinty Gecko around the corner.
Hey, Chris O, doesn't that inspire you to donate more? To be like, I'm not going to let Flinty Gecko win. Here's more money, Aaron.
Aaron thinks he's created the bat game. Like they just put their hands up a bat and whoever's on the top wins.
Yeah, and these guys are going to be arguing, like, fuck you, Flinty Gecko. You bastard. Aaron, here's $100. Now, get down there beneath me, Flinty Gecko.
Think about that. He's totally cool with open warfare with the people that watch his show as long
That's what
as
he dreams of. Not cool. I think he's dreaming of that. He's hoping that happens.
You all hate each other and love me and just give me money and adulation. Yes.
40. Gray Duckling with 25. Front Porch Conservative and Michael tied for fourth place with $20.
You got to give it to Michael. He ran out early and he stayed conservative, but he's still hanging in there. It's amazing.
People, you got to start doing this Price is Right thing too. You can't give 20. You got to give 21 or 19. You got to imagine what other people are giving. You're not competing now against, yourself. You're competing against other people.
And I would recommend to people like Michael, who's just kind of like laying in wait, tied for fourth. It's early in the week. I would get out to a healthy lead, and then you don't have to worry about it on Thursday. You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh fuck, I only donated 20 on Monday. I lost my spot in the top 4. You gotta be vigilant. Don't get lackadaisical. Don't rest on your laurels.
Yes, no, you got to constantly be getting new players. I mean,
always be goaling. That's what I say.
ABG, you just invented something.
And 18 for Tridio. He is in 5th. So let's go ahead and knock out that one.
Those mini tied for 4th. So.
20. Let's do a half hour of overtime today. Throw in a couple of bucks. Let us go, and we'll finish up that clip, by the way, during overtime. We're not going to cut that one off. We're going to keep going, but we do need to make our money, as Kevin Brennan says, make our nut for the day. And if you want to get that nut, you just got to grab a hold, brother, and then my fucking. It's just,
I have a feeling that voice was done gently into Nick Ricada's ear more than once.
Jesus Christ. Yes, it was. And also, he ran out of material in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Take that nut in your hand. And you
hey, look at Johnny's talking.
That's how Nick said it. You sound like Nick. Do I eat it, Nick? What do I do with this nut in my hand?
You'll feel that it's growing.
You'll see that nut is growing. All right, guys.
I got to go take a shower now.
Yeah, that's rough.
20 away. Let's do this. Let's rally up and get another win for the toe. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rant.
And now this is high stakes because it's not just winning for the toe. You're winning for yourself by getting on that leaderboard and seeing your name up there with stars like Chris O and what was the other one? Flinty Gecko.
Flinty Gecko, yeah.
Yeah.
But
big dogs like that.
Here's the thing. If you're number 1 on a day that we didn't meet the goal, that's like you're the best astronaut on the Challenger. It doesn't mean
that's true. You got to push him to greatness. You got to put right. Yeah. If you throw for 6 touchdowns and lose, what do you think people are going to remember at the end of the day? You know?
Yeah. Does anyone even remember the other Heisman candidates? No.
Right.
Let's have a good start to this week. Trucker 18-wheeler with $1.99 says, "Does this count as 100?" I will say it.
Okay, the thing here now, what you got to do, Mike, is you got to give random numbers, like $3.18. You got to have Aaron doing like real math all day long.
Great idea. Well, I've seen Aaron at work enough to now know he's just going to round down.
He's going to round, yeah, but maybe if you forget, but if it's close.
I do
and the
like
2 people
that.
at top are close. They can do like 15 cents, 15 cents.
Give like $6.38.
And give foreign money too, and make Aaron do the fucking translation of the money.
I do love that. Yeah, I don't know if the guy giving Swedish kroner is in third, but by my calculations,
he just has a chart on the fucking screen that's just the conversion rate of all the countries.
It's like CNBC or something during the day. They got all the stock tickers.
Never hurts to ask, but
mad goal.
No. Trucker 18-wheeler is also at $12 for the week. Thank you very much. All right, 3 minutes to go. We got to get
Time
moving.
flies. I always forget.
Let's see if we can hammer out this goal. At least give us a fighting chance. Everybody throw in a little bit and give us a shot to get a win today.
A fighting chance. What does that mean? Aaron, you know what, Aaron? You've got a fighting chance because you've hit this goal before and you'll probably hit it again. I'd say that's a fighting chance. What more do you want from these people? Come on, guys, at least give us a fighting chance. Jeez. He's acting like these people are being lazy by not donating.
That he dies at the end of these sometimes? That's stakes, baby. You want to put some stakes, Aaron? Put like a S machine into your arm and then be like, we don't hit the goal. I press this button.
All right, guys, today I knocked Johnny out of his wheelchair if we don't hit the goal. Hurry up, come on.
We dump him on the freeway and see if he can get off.
I bring him to the center of town without his wheelchair and we see if he can get home. All right? If you don't want that to happen, we hit the goal.
Today, we'd really appreciate it. 3 minutes away from a defeat at the start of the week. I don't want to see that.
That's not a good
Last week was really easy, too. I mean, we didn't even, this 5-minute segment didn't exist last week. So let's.
Good thing I didn't watch. We wouldn't have had anything. I wouldn't have had anything to seethe over because Aaron was too busy hitting his goals.
Keep that theme going. 120 is a bad loss. I don't want a bad loss today. So if you've got a couple of bucks, throw it Steel Toes' way. We promise you nothing but smiles and positivity and all
Remember
kinds
the
of
dignity
good.
guy a few minutes ago? Remember that guy that was yelling at Darkside Phil? Have some dignity.
And the positivity. Again, you've shaped and changed this man totally. It's fucking hilarious. I've never seen someone shape someone like this. You're his daddy. You're officially
Shit. And a black guy screaming about Daniel Penny. And a lot more stuff coming up. Oh, and we have a white lady who says that we should buy lawnmowers because Trump's such an evil racist that he's going to deport all the Mexicans who cut our grass. But don't worry, Trump's a racist.
Oh, you're going to call out liberal hypocrisy? Aaron, here is a blank check. Write in whatever number you feel you deserve. I didn't know we were going to get that kind of stuff. That unique take. Hey, the liberals are just as bad as the conservatives. Holy shit, Aaron, here's $5,000. Just promise me you'll do this again tomorrow.
I don't watch this content, but doesn't he just regurgitate, like, here's what happened on Fox today. Let me show you some videos.
He reacts to videos like the way we do, just in the news world. It's not for me, but this is where, that's what I always said about Aaron, is his show wasn't for me. I didn't think he was a bad broadcaster. So I think if he knocked out the goal stuff and talking about how great he was, I'd have nothing to talk about because he'd just be doing a whatever show that I don't really care about,
Right. Yeah, the goal stuff is amazing.
You're kidding, right?
I'm not kidding.
I'm pissed I can't do a show today now. God damn it. Really? That's a thing?
$2 or $2. 2
ruining
minutes
Johnny's life.
away
I need to hit that. I need to cover this clip.
We're losing, man. We are getting our ass kicked right now. We're 120 away. We got 2
Imagine
minutes left.
cutting yourself off like I can't talk about certain clips because imagine if we went to play that Anthony Jeselnik clip from earlier and you were like, I'm sorry, Mike, actually I can't play it today. The people in the comments section have not given you enough money. And I was like, but I want to talk about this thing. I think it's kind of hypocritical. We've been following it, so people deserve an update on it. I have thoughts on it that I want to talk about, my own self-indulgence. And you're like, no, Mike, did you hear me? The people have not given enough money for you to talk about that. And I go, oh, okay, well, that's it. I guess we just won't talk about it then. It's one of two things. Either these guys don't give a fuck about talking about any of these subjects, or they're castrating themselves by their own design. They have stuff they really want to get their opinions out on and can't because of the goal. That's psychosis. That's an insane way to live your life.
Yeah, you hit it number one there. They don't care about their content, and they just pretend that they do. This is podcast cosplay. It's really what it is. It's not real, but the money is. So let's. What do these other guys do? They watch things. All right, we're gonna watch things.
That's why I like. That's not why I like them, but something I respect about Tukey and Cardiff. They have regular jobs, and then at night, they enjoy podcasting, so they do it, or on the weekends, or whenever they can. And you can donate to their Patreon if you want, but they're not guys, you need to get me to quit my job. You need to support me enough that I can quit my job and I can do this for 4 hours a day. Like, it's never a trade-off with these guys. Whereas with Aaron, it's like, come on, guys, don't you want more of me? Like, you owe me because you need more of me. It's like, well, no. And it's interesting because when you hear Aaron talk, he has this perspective on people. He was I forget who he was talking about, but I was listening to some clip where he's talking about some radio person or someone, and he's like, people just like forget about you. Like they like we like to think like, oh, the fans need us, but like if you go away, they'll find some other show. And I'm like, yeah, that's good perspective, Aaron. And yet he does this where it's like, hey guys, you don't want me to go away, do you? Like he threatens them with it, yet he knows deep down that it's meaningless.
He has a blind spot you can fit a hot tub through, Mike. You know?
It is not looking good, but hey, I think we did a great show today. I think we had a lot of fun on today's show. I'd like to see it continue. I'd like to keep going, but right now we are fucking donezo. We are fucked. Trucker 18-wheeler gave us $1.99. The audience did not agree with me. This is a rough one. A minute and a half left, and nothing.
Why? What's different from today? From today, tomorrow, yesterday? What's different about the show that you're doing this? Like, what did you do differently that would make people in mass say today was a bad show? It's literally the same as every other show. You play 6 clips about fucking liberals, and I'm not saying we're different. Like, hey, today we talked about Stuttering John, Steel Toe, Anthony Jeselnik, and Andrew Schulz. It's the same show as last week, basically. But I'm not like, oh, guys, the super chats are down. People have decided the show sucks now. And last week they really enjoyed it. Why are you living your life on this thread that you've tied yourself onto?
Seems unsustainable.
Yeah.
Thing coming in for a rally today. It looks like it could be another L for the toe after a fucking killer week last week. I do not want to start this way. Throw us a 20. Throw us a 50. Fucking rally for us. I don't want
dignity. This guy was preaching about dignity a few minutes ago.
Phil, again? Phil, you're back. You're back, Phil.
Take an L. Throw us a couple of bucks. Let's see if we can get a win. 1 minute left. Oh, boy. Maybe I should start packing up for the day.
Uh-oh.
20 bucks from Need Trump. Thank you. That brings us down to 105. Somebody with a big one. Somebody
Come
drop.
on, guys.
According
Don't you want to be on that leaderboard?
Sorry. According to your wife, Arcada had a big one. Had to do it. Had to do it.
That's fun.
A big one in. Grab a hold, brother. Need Trump with 20 bucks says, let's go and make Steel Toe grow in his hand. I want to grow in my hand. A little over 30 seconds left. 105.
I think there's truth to that. I think he gets sexually turned on when the goal is met.
Undoubtedly. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a sickness.
The worst days for April was when the goal was met. She's like, oh, God. Here
he said, you heard him say, he woke up at midnight and 4 a.m. thinking about the goal.
5 to go. Let's knock it out. Week 100 is doable. Come on.
Of course it's doable.
Dead Game is mad that I cut off Johnny, but I gotta beg for the dough. And we had to point out how great the fucking jacket was. It was important, Dead Game. I'm sorry. All right, 20 seconds left. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rant, 105 away. This ain't good. 10, 9,
Watch how this ends.
8,
Watch how this ends.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well, guys, I'm happy. You guys are a great audience. I'm thrilled. Oh, Freaky Deaky with 1999.
Someone slid in under the
puts us
wire.
at 90. I'm not done yet. I'm hanging around for a second here to count this up. Throw in. We're stalling now. We're stalling. Throw it in.
So remember when he was telling Dark Side Phil, the clip we played where he's like, I mean, if you want to spend a minute on it, and that's still bad, but come on, don't make it your whole show. Look at what he's doing. And I cut it down because I was like, we're just not going to get through this whole thing. I want to move on with my day at some point. Like we couldn't play all of it, but I cut it off. There's like 8 more minutes of Aaron going like, all right, before I close my book. It's like when you count, if you have kids and you're like, hey, you guys better knock it off on the count of 3. 1, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4. Come on, guys, I'm serious. That's what Aaron is doing. He treats these people like babies that he's trying to get to do what he wants.
And he found another way to pull the stakes out of it.
Yes.
It's over. It's done. Let's go on for 10 minutes. It's just no stakes.
All right, let me try and turn this clock off. You can still get a couple donations in.
Just rewind that clock. Look, we got 8 more minutes.
$20. Says, once I beat Tyson Fury again, I'll drop you a big one. Yes, I saw Freaky Deaky this weekend, and I told him he looks like Alexander Usyk.
You're gonna step on your own joke with the fucking...
See? It's not that easy to do.
Thank you, Freaky Deaky. Guys, keep those coming, and then I can't leave. If you keep those 1999s and all that shit coming, then I can't go away.
He's doing a reverse Bronx Tale.
Yes. Nice, you can't leave.
He's locking himself in and saying, now you just can't leave.
Throw in, and let's call it another win for the... Oh, wait, and I also have to write down Freaky Deaky's donation and need Trump's donation.
All right, I'm right, F. Hope no one donates while I'm writing.
What comes after F and Freaky? T? No, hold on, that's wrong. Let me erase that.
It's like he's dealing with... Right now, what he's doing is he's saying to the audience, hey, where's Freaky Deaky? I don't see him. He must have left. And Freaky Deaky is behind the couch going, hee. I'm hiding and he can't see me. And he's going, all right, I guess I should just go into the other room if Freaky Deaky's not here. And he goes, I'm right here donating, Aaron. That's what he thinks. He thinks these babies are getting some sort of pleasure or satisfaction out of this.
Yep. I didn't do that. So 25 for Need Trump. Freaky. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Rumble, Super Chats, etc. We're only $90 away. At least get 40 more in and we can continue begging for a little bit.
Hey guys, hurry up and donate so we can continue begging.
It's exhausting. I'm exhausted watching this.
Don't you want more of me begging?
How much was Freaky Deaky?
I believe it was $20. I think $20.
$20. Thank you, Freaky Deaky. I have that written down. Hold on. Trucker 18-wheeler with $1.99 says I lost a tooth at work on Saturday.
What are we doing here, Aaron? Someone came with a less than $2, and you're like, all right, we gotta write this down. It's like he's closing the bank for the day.
Yeah, but this trucker wheeler's that's a good troll because he's like, I'm gonna keep it going, get those 20s in. He's like $1.99 Saturday meth. Great job, kudos.
Now I'm methed up. Well, that's now 14 from Trucker 18-wheeler. Dead game if we knock out.
No, it isn't.
Dang Lizard would murder Aaron with this €2 things, like 32 euros in a row. Dang, get over there and make him do that math.
Out this goal here. I will let Johnny finish his thought. How's that?
I don't even remember what it was.
All right, so I can't,
Johnny.
while these donations still come in, I can't leave yet. I have to make sure I've got them all written down properly. That did so. Streamlabs.
It's like he's helping like a bank heist. Like he's like, all right, I gotta close up shop here for the day. Hope no one's breaking in and taking all the money.
My favorite thing is he's breaking his own rules and he thinks he's cool doing it. It's your own rule.
That's a great point. That he's like, hey, I'm having ice cream for breakfast. And no one's gonna tell me I can't.
You're right. No one lives with you anymore. No one cares. Eat all the ice cream you want, asshole.
Venmo, PayPal, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, etc. It does. You know how many people were pissing off doing it though? There's rules.
I'm so mad right now.
Lost. He should just take his loss.
Just go home. That's a blind Mike impression.
Yep. That's us. That's me and Patrick Melton and all these other people. We're getting so mad. I gotta tell you, you can like. There are plenty of segments.
I'm so mad.
There are plenty of segments that I get overly serious. You know what I mean? Like where I'm probably too like worked up. it's never been a steel toe segment.
No, you have fun.
I have complete fun during these. And sometimes Aaron hits his goal and sometimes he doesn't. It's amazing to interpret this or any other coverage I've seen. Like, he keeps getting these damn goals.
They created the Beggy Monster. They must really hate this.
Oh, he's got so much pride. I can't shake him.
Fucking Tukey is being mailed props because people hate this so much. They're loving it.
We're a positivity. Everybody contribute, and we'll just annoy the shit out of people for a while.
So annoying. No.
So Flinty Gecko is in first.
Congratulations, Flinty Gecko. Now we're going back to the past.
But this goes on. I just want to make the point. This goes on for another. Like, I couldn't keep doing it. I was like, the clip is just going to be too long. Yeah. It would be insane for us to play. Yes, redundant. It would be insane for us to keep playing. Yes. But it goes on where he's like, all right, closing up shop today. No more donations. Door is almost completely shut. Anyone want to slide it? Oh, the wind blew the door open. Let me keep shutting it here. Come on. Oh, one more slid in. I guess it goes on for another like 8 minutes. It's crazy.
We really showed him, guys. Who is him? Me.
Yeah. So we'll end with one powerful speech from one Aaron Imholt, where I think, quite honestly, we've given our piece. God knows. I think the best perspective on all of this is from Aaron Imholt himself. So let's hear it.
Of him, and this is amazing because this guy gets shit on the internet all the time for being ruthless with his begging.
Oh, dude,
and he has no self-awareness about it yet. He still makes these videos.
And he has no self-awareness about it yet.
It's all so amazing. It's amazing to watch him covering a guy where it's like, Aaron is covering Darkside Phil the way we are covering Aaron. And yet, when we cover Aaron, it's like, they're seething. They're furious. It's like he's done this with John and Phil and Brendan Schaub. He's talked about all these people. And, like, he just stopped doing it at some point. I don't know. He became a political guy. I don't know the trajectory for him, but he just lost touch with it. Yeah.
All right, Blake. We have a few super chats here.
All right. Well, let's get those and get the hell out of here, shall we?
Dang Lizard, he did exactly what I said way before here. 2.16 euros. 227. That's 1589 after YouTube, so 158 or 159.
Okay.
Please go do that.
Let me jot that down and then convert the euro.
It is going to be amazing to watch that happen. Please do that, Dang Lizard. All right.
Yes, please.
Shit show. $1.99 or 5 hit show. I think it's shit show. Not Hi Movies flat rate lawyer. Hello. Icon Buckets for $2. Thank you. The only person I'm a top donor for is a cam girl. So he's not.
Yeah, and that makes sense. They're contributing a service, you know.
That's right. Chef Louis, $1.99 or Chef Lewis. I don't know much. Mike's favorite chatter is in my Twitter bio. Yeah, see, that's what you win. You win nothing, but
you should be in there. Yeah. It's very exciting. Mike's favorite chatter.
Icon Buckets, $5. How long until Aaron registers as a religious organization so he doesn't have to pay taxes?
People have joked about that for a long time, but it's not impossible. The Church of the Toe.
He's flirting with 501c, which is one step away. So
right.
The
fact that he knows that means he's thought about it.
There has been some Googling.
Yeah.
Rockerbeat 2002 with $5. You guys should keep a scoreboard too, as long as Mike's keeping score. Yes, that would be. And as long as we had like
I can't even see what I've written down. I'm like, what is this?
But we have we have that on screen, so it's just like a bunch of doodles and swirls.
Yeah,
that would be great. All right, Joe from Virginia, $1.99. Good show today, boys. Thanks for everything.
Hey, go to j37shop.com. Make up for that $2 he's wasting in super chats.
Not Joe37shop.com.
J37.
Yes. Rockerb 2002, $5. The only way the toe would become DSP is if he accidentally gets caught spanking it live. I guess that's.
I don't know enough about Darkside Phil. Has he done that?
Apparently, it sounds like something he did. Looking at the guy, yes. I'm just
Okay.
And finally, unless people listen, you could still get number one. The number one spot is still available for the
guys,
show.
we're ending the show. You know, I hope no one tries to get in at the last minute and super chat us because we are closing up shop here.
It's like Indiana Jones hat in here. Might just reach back and grab it and keep the bar open for another hour if you donate. Joseph Kane with $2. Oh, he gave us a super sticker with a pear running around saying, "Hey you." Thank you so much.
Buddy.
Thank you, all the super chatters.
Can I tell you a quick story before we get out of here?
Of course.
You remember G.D. Fenderson?
I do. I saw him on Carl's today or yesterday.
He so I start getting comments like in the YouTube Studio app. You just see the most recent comments. It could be on it could be on a video from 5 years ago or whatever.
Correct. Yes.
We had a bunch of comments on a couple G.D. Fenderson videos.
No, don't tell me.
I was like, what the hell? And they were from two different accounts. One of them was G.D. Fenderson. And the other was Reverend Jelly Roll. And then G.D. Fenderson emailed David Collins. Thinking, because I guess David was on one of the episodes. So David sent me the email. And I got to say, it's a lot of incoherent nonsense. But if you cut to the core of it, GD being a very good sport. He's like, I appreciate you guys talking about. He goes, it was interesting to see what people think of my comedy outside my little bubble and get that feedback. Took it very well. So I'm a GD Fenderson guy now.
When is the show debut? When is the show debut on the channel? GD Fenderson after David Collins.
I'm a GD Fenderson guy. That's all it takes, baby. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm sure we'll cover GD again at some point. But I did like to see he's playing along with it well. He's not being a poor sport like so many of these guys are.
All right, well, David Collins, there you go. Get GD Fenderson. That's how we walk him into the lake, the shallow water.
That's interesting. GD and David Collins. That's a good episode.
Teach him comedy, David.
Of course, he'll do it on his channel, not mine. On mine, he'll talk to Matt about nothing for an hour.
That's why we love David.
No, it's 7:30 a.m. Eastern on the Blind Mike Project channel every Wednesday. Drive Time David Collins. Go check him out. One of his better episodes this week, wouldn't you say?
I love that show. I love anything David Collins. It is an acquired taste. You have to kind of get into the corn frame.
Well, what's weird is I've acquired the taste of David Collins, and I'm still not sure what I'm eating on Wednesday mornings.
Yes. Well, you know what you're eating. You don't know how it's going to come out. You know, this may be a disaster. I might be good. But
check out what David Collins is doing, and check out what these guys are doing. Catch 22 is coming up next.
Yes, right after Blind Mike Project. Stay in the chat. You don't even got to move, people. And
tell Electra she has a lot of making up to do with me, and she knows what that means.
Oh no. Okay, I will. But I do know that she was experiencing some pain. She has. Do you know she has the same condition that Eric the Midget had, the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome?
Yes.
And so so it's amazing that we actually cover the show. She talks about it and all that. So there are days where she wakes up a little bit in pain because she's so flexible and her tits are so big.
Well, way to make me sound like an asshole. Obviously, I'm kidding.
I have to do a show with her next to understand that, right?
Obviously, I'm joking. I love Electra, and she doesn't have to do any of this. I appreciate all of her diligent work. But go to HackRideTheDemon.com. Go watch Catch 22 right after this. Go watch Unboxing Gold Dust that they're doing later tonight.
That one's amazing. If you've ever wanted to see Dylan from somewhere in a gimp cage, tonight's the night, baby.
Yeah, I've always told people I wanted to see that, so I'm glad it's finally.
You do. It's like 4 times you told me that. It's actually your idea. So,
verygoodshow.org. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say verygoodshow.org. I got the babies. I wanted to throw the babies up. There we go.
No.
Hey,
that's
Gregor.
not funny. Visual jokes aren't funny. It's funny to call him a pedophile over and over again.
Okay.
But if you put babies next to him, that's not funny. That's not allowed.
I'm writing it down. Hold on. Jokes are hard. Comedy's hard, baby.
Yes. Good. Yeah, jot that down. Go to verygoodshow.org. Support Craig. And you can go on his Patreon and tell him, hey, Craig, I didn't see you do an episode this week. And he'll be like, fuck you. Get out of here, you fucking asshole. And you're like, whoa, man, I'm sorry. I was just, or maybe that's only how he talks to my patrons. I don't know.
Just a reminder, folks, he also manages the audio for this show, so don't blame me for nothing. He does.
Well, luckily there's an account now that will hold his. I don't even have to check if the audio gets up later. There's a man out there doing it, and he's doing great work, and I appreciate that.
Yes, we need a full accounting every day of Krieger's activities, please.
That's just good for society, I think.
I think so. I think we're going
And
to
then
keep some people safe.
lastly, if you've done all those things that I've mentioned, go to blindmike.net. Least importantly, go to blindmike.net. I appreciate you guys, those of you that subscribe on Patreon or YouTube to get early access and bonus content. I appreciate you. And if you just subscribe for free, wherever you get podcasts, like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, all that good stuff. It helps the algorithm. It helps more people find the show. So any videos you like, make sure you like and leave a comment and tell a friend about it. And I think that's it, right?
Yep, Mika Mills, quick 99-cent sticker, and B Smiley with a quick 99-second coming in here at the last ticket.
Hey, you guys are getting on that leaderboard.
B Smiley, you're up to number 5. You did it. You did.
Thank
Put
you,
that on
buddy.
your refrigerator today. All right, Blind Mike, thank you so much. Have a great day. Enjoy the football, everyone.
See ya.
Blind Mike Geary!
I talk like this, it's silly. This is my punchline, is a boy. I think it's really rad.